Hello. Oh, look at that. Defeat. Defeat is on the screen. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. As you can see, I've been running around. I'm here. I've even tried scheduling the stream later, so I'm not late. And I'm still late. This New Year's resolution of mine has gone down the toilet. I didn't even make it to like half the way through the year. Oh, it's probably because I have no artifacts on these champions anymore. Whoops. Let's just do this. Probably like this. I don't know. We can probably just kill it with that. What are we doing here? Where's Paragon? Throw him out. Ever since I have destroyed my Stultus, this has become much more of an issue. But I'll just build some healing amongst it, so he can't die. There we go. I didn't make it past 2 weeks. This is true. This is true. I did kind of mess up. Yes. I am not doing any of the events, Kieran, and it is such a nice experience to not have to log into Raid every single day with a chore of requirements. Awesome. I'm glad it worked. Yeah, those champion training guides are useful for everyone going forward. Yeah, I should probably just use Geo. I always used to run Stultus, see, and I'd have him in regen, and it would just fix every single rotation. But ever since I've moved Stultus over to being a damage dealer, it's a bit more of an issue. So, yeah. I mean, it's only level 20. I just haven't done it today, so I just best get it out of the way before I forget. Stultus is just in full savage damage here, but I'm still working on masteries for him, so he's kind of like in the build factory at the moment. Yeah, these fusions, there's always one that you miss. There's always one epic or one rare that you miss for like the Razin fusion. It takes you ages. Hey Brandon, how's it going? Yeah, I know, right? Honestly, Paragon can solo this. It just takes a while. No, I don't use Seer Comp, no. I don't have the Kaimar, that's the problem. So because I don't have Kaimar, it makes resetting a bit awkward, and I just basically run Vlad. He runs solos all the Doom Tower for me. What? Hello? No, it's only for the top level, that's the case. I mean, I could probably just let it auto, but Because it doesn't actually check against his defense. It checks against the boss's defense. So as long as you don't decrease the boss's accuracy, you're fine. That's how Stultus works. It doesn't work against any of his stats. You can't force Stultus to actually to do it. Now, I should make sure I don't put like block debuffs on him, because that will stop it. Right, block debuffs will stop it. I should have put reflect on him as well. I'm going to just cleanse that off. See, whenever I do this, it will always place it every single time. Because he, the way that it works is it checks Agreth's accuracy against Agreth's resistance. It doesn't check against anything that is on Stultus. Duchess was the problem here. I shouldn't really have picked Duchess. To be honest, I could probably just do this. Drop him, bring her, and bring Ancora. It's probably fine. And then I can run it auto. I might need to tell him not to use his A2 or A3 though. We'll find out. What cat? What's he doing here? Hey Sniper, 1 gifted membership. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You have to pay your late fee. What about my late fee? I should have probably just let Baron die there. Yeah, the cat wants treats. She's had loads today, though, so a 3rd round is really asking for it, isn't it? You're asking for a lot for a 3rd round. I probably should just use Geo, I know. I'm stuck in my ways with this one. I like the fact I've always been like, Stultus will do it. You got a 6-star Whisper. Nice. I got a 5-star Aethel. What can I do with that? Absolutely nothing. I will grab the other one from Ice Golem, though, because they are pretty good. I'm currently on the mission to get Iron Twins coins. Like, I think it's like 6,000 coins, so that's not fun at the moment. What? Six-star Coldheart, nice. What was your question? In regards to the tournament, I have an 84 4-star Fruit Champions ready for last minute. Is that a lot? That's quite a lot. I would prefer 5-star, but yes, that's a lot. But keep in mind, there are people sitting on, like, I currently have 184 4-star chickens or something like that. So you are up against a lot of burst. It just depends on the group that you're in as to whether or not it's going to work, you know? I might just let them die and let him solo it. What? Don't. All right, you win. You win this game of I want treats, honestly. What have you got? You got, like... Come here. Bit of fluff on you. You're eating you're eating us out of house and home here, honestly. Yeah, it is an epic. Curry has a very good point. Not many people are going crazy for it. Like, can you just, if you would so kindly, kill the Baron? That's what we're waiting on. That's it. Excellent. Now I can A2 and then just leave it go auto. Oh, she's not really. She just likes, she's like, why? Oh, she's going to revive, isn't she? Oh, I'm just going to let it go auto, see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'll put Geo in. She just loves dreamy treats, which is, you know. Normally I'd do Paragon, see, on auto. That's it, no more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use Geomancer. Ever since I took him out of regen, this problem exists. I mean, I can do Paragon. It just takes forever. So I'll just do it another. I'll do it later, basically. It's fine. I'll do it later. It's not really a problem. No, it's fine. I normally just have Paragon dedicated to it, so I never have to worry about any flaw. It just takes 20 minutes. It's not very fun to watch for. So, you know, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So, yeah. So, yeah, the summon pool's active. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with the system. The only thing I don't like is there's rares and there's a bunch of legendaries I don't own. So, I would have preferred this list to be tailored to champions that I own. Or give me like 60 and then I can pick 20 of them or something like that. It's probably very bad UI, but you know what I mean. It's like the fact that I could get, for example, Taras, Cardiel, Corrigar, Grisor, Leorius, Supreme Galek, Siphi, what else we got here? Jorgid, Harima, you know. And the volume of Void Legendaries here is really bad also. Not many people have Void Legendaries, so you could end up pulling a Soul, and the Soul is just like, sell it or it stays there forever. So, I would prefer that, but it's not the end of the world. It's a free summon in the end. It's a free Immortal Soulstone. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, but honestly, whether or not they would have had it or not, they would have bought the Soulstones anyway, so I don't really think that's a whale problem. There it is. How much is that worth? Let's have a look. This is about 11... So it's about $11. No, wait. So I have 1,000. So I get 11 per dollar. So yeah, it's about $4 to $5 a summon, right? It's a little bit better than the $9.99 pack, but yeah, it's about, as I thought, it's about $5 a summon. So it's a little bit more expensive than an Immortal Soulstone. So yeah, I haven't got a Paragon build. Let me say it. It's not a build. He's just in deflection set. Paragon is simply in deflection set. Enough to stay alive and then just deflection. And then I wait for everyone to die. I disable his A3. I leave his A2 on. And then 20 minutes later, he finishes everything. So that's how it works. But yeah, I know what people are saying, like, oh, well, they can summon infinitely. They would, if they're a big enough spender that cares about spending infinitely here, they're already spending infinitely. That doesn't really matter. It's gonna happen. So you can look at it from it's a Kraken event, but I look at it as a way for players who don't want to spend on souls, who maybe don't have access to things like all the Iron Twins that they can do, will get the opportunity at getting a slightly better chance of getting a good star rating for one of their champions. It's free. It doesn't cost anyone. So I kind of look at it from that angle, you know? So I don't see it as a negative. Like, all the Krakens, if they really care, will buy these packs. This one's a terrible one, but they will buy them. If they're that concerned about whaling super hard on these, they will buy those things. Oh yeah, we were hunting the greater oils here. Exactly. That's always been my modus operandum with any of these Prism events. So long as everyone gets the opportunity to have one, then it's fine. If you make it completely paywalled, then I don't like it. As long as it's an event or some free reward or some way for me to acquire one, and you know, you don't have to win it. One comment was like, you're going to have to win the Ice Golem event. You won't have to win the Ice Golem event. They'll just stick it at the top of the Ice Golem event. They might put an extra point requirement in. As long as you get one or two free ones, then everyone essentially gets a free Immortal Soulstone. I say free. Free as in you don't have to buy one. You still have to consume the energy to beat it, right? But free as in, you don't have to buy the actual jewels. That's pretty good. A boosted Immortal Soulstone for free. I would take that. Is it the best system in the world? No, because there aren't no best systems in the world in all these games. There's always a compromise. There's always something that you go, if only if it was like this. But at least it's something a bit better than just, you know, the odds are worth it. Hey, Noda. I have seen your DMs. I haven't had a chance to reply yet. I'm not ignoring you. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not ignoring people when they DM me. I just sometimes don't get back around to it. I should probably just go for the keys now. I needed the great oil. Oops. Well, this is one way to do it. Wukong versus... Apparently I'm... Oh, yeah. This is funny. Oh, yeah. Well, that was always going to happen, wasn't it? I forgot it was Dark Fae. Lol. Turns out you can't solo Dark Fae. Little did I know. I did. I did it for... So I did the refill today, and I also did the refill on Sunday. I'll show you where I'm at now. Okay, apparently I should just not use Sun Wukong here, and just use this will do. Yes, not the best, right? Wait, how did I lose that? How did I lose that? I have no idea. Anyway, let's get on to killing it now. Nearly. There we go. That was a lot harder than hard mode, than easy mode should have been. Let's go get these keys. Do we have a better... do... Yeah, it's a bug. So basically, something is going on with Togron's passive that basically means that the buff spread is almost like growing the shield. I don't exactly know how it is happening, but Togron had some issues before with Hydra where Togron would grow your max HP, which would almost like get rid of the 25% lock on the max HP destruction. So, yeah, it's already been confirmed they're going to be bug fixing it. So, you know, it's not major news. There's nothing new there. It's nothing special that we need to be wary of, but it did confuse me a little bit for a while. I was like, what the hell's going on here? What tier of silver are you in? Curry, what specifically? What tier of silver? Ah, have I seen Carnage in action? You should pay attention to the feed from the YouTube channel tomorrow. You might find that a certain Carnage video is there. Thankfully to Inri, who has been able to complete all of it, they loaned me their account to do a full playtest. And I have to say, the playtest, I'm surprised a little bit. As in, I knew he would be good, but the way he's good is a bit different to what I expected. After I playtest him a bit more. He surprised me. It was one of those awkward guides to record, though, because I was sitting there, I was saying how good he is and how you would use it, and all the, you know, how you would with a video guide where you explain how to use the champion, how to build a champion, where's the best places for it. And then you have this realization that you could be recording and presenting this video to, like, one person who can acquire it or one person who has acquired it, and they probably already know how to use him, and then everyone else is like, well, that's great, but I'm not going to get him for, like, 12 months. Silver 2. We'll do the math now in a second. Let me just get my Centranos out of the way. We've kind of like pushed all of the hard mode stages that I can until the regearing event now, so I'm on full pause until that is done. Multi-hitters like that and like that. Well, this is it. Like, I think the majority of endgame players who take Centranos seriously, I would consider myself one of those, where it's like, you know, you're not necessarily super endgame where you're getting through all of the content, but you're doing a lot of the Centranos hard mode. They will get it in about 9 months. That's when I expect I'll get mine, 9 months. But for the average player, you know, it could take... Depends on the quests you do, right? Because it's very... If you can get through and do all of the Awakened stages, then you'll get it in 9 months. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to do like 100 floors. You just need to be able to do all the Awakened floors. That's terrible. I should have kept that one. That was a mistake. That one is terrible. That one's good. I'm just chasing the Amius keys, so... let's go up into Soul. Where's the key over here? It's quite deep over there, isn't it? Where's the key in here? Oh, there. Let's just do this. Archer. Hey, Wheeze. So, Hydra is the one area where he surprised me. I thought... the alternate form of Carnage would be the way to go on Hydra. I was kind of wrong. I found myself never using the alternate form in Hydra. So yeah, so like for example, as long as you do these quests here, this Awakened stages, which, you know, I've pretty much done them all apart from this one. This is the Gatekeeper, then you should take you 9 months. If you can't do that one, then you're always losing 55 candles, right? And you need 500 points. So... essentially, you're getting 45, so you should get it in 11 months. It's actually not that different between the people, right? So, for example, you can do... as long as you can kill Amius, you should be able to do Carnage in 11 months. 11.1, so like 12 months. But as long as you can do one of these Awakened stages, then you should be able to get it in 11 months. Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, if you can try and get one of these clear 12 stages done once in those 11 rotations, then it should only take you 11 months. For me, it's going to take me 9 months because I'm never doing this 40. That's why I didn't like the model here, because I felt like this should be more like 30, 30, or like aggregated a little bit more to make it less punishing because you didn't do all stages. Because a lot of people will probably get to like 97. The amount of times I've been on 97 or 98 out of 101 is ridiculous. So it means that I always lose 40% every single month because I didn't do 2 stages. That is too punishing to me. I'd have normalized it a little bit and made this like 20 or 25 and made this like 30. So at least then it's a little bit less punishing. So that's what I would do. No, Carnage is really, really good. I actually think Carnage is top tier. Super good. See you later, Dennis. No worries. No worries. He's actually quite good. The only thing is, I think by the time the majority of people get him, he's going to get power crept. Because he already has been power crept from that top damage I said he was going to be. When he was announced, he was by far the strongest damage champion in the game. But now we've got Siegfried, right? He's really strong. We've got the new Sacred Order in there, Falmund. He's really strong in terms of a single hit damage potential. We're starting to see things like more powerful mythicals come in. Just to say as well, you can't currently empower Carnage. He's not an option for empowering because you can only acquire him from that area, so you can't summon him. They haven't actually added him to the empowerment options. He will be added when they release a new mythical demon spawn. So I would expect the next update to have a demon spawn mythical champion. Probably. And that is the issue with these staggered releases of champions, that by the time you get them, Like, think of Romantu, how powerful Romantu was on release. Well, Carnage is a power creep on Romantu because of this ability. This is nuts. These two combinations are nuts. And the reason why his base form is really powerful is whenever you kill an enemy, you put all of these debuffs on the enemies and they're all protected. So the only downside of an arena is polymorph is pretty nasty, right? Polymorph is rough. So if you debuff, you could sheep yourself. That being said, he does place this before attacking, which means that you can target a Rotus with this seal debuff and take away his Helm Smasher and his ignore defense sets, and then his A3 can't hit true damage, which kind of neutralizes him a little bit. And because he does it before attacking, he's still affinity okay. Even though he's weak affinity to Rotus, he's affinity okay. And then if he doesn't weak hit and he kills Rotus, he will transfer that seal onto every enemy in the team. And when you kill someone with this ability, you transfer all of these debuffs onto all of the enemies. And having a protected block active skills, block passive skills, and seal on 3 enemies basically makes that team useless. They can't do anything. It's so powerful. Hey, Wise Team. The biggest problem is, of course, we can't land debuffs in Arena. But, you know, his alternate form is more of a finisher in Arena. Once you set it up on the base form, you come in with this and just kill everyone. It's really, really crazy. But in Hydra, this base form is very good. I found I was using his base form far more in Hydra than I was using his alternate form, and it was doing good damage. Because he's much more single target focused in his base form, the ability to spread debuffs is obnoxiously good. It's so good. It is incredibly good. It's not subject. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was. I could be wrong. I'm just checking now. Oh, good lord, you're right. That's interesting. Yes, you're right. I didn't even notice this. So yeah, so as long as you don't get polymorphed by the actual single target action, which is actually a lot safer than you would think, because this can only roll once. This is basically, against a 6-star polymorph, it's a 25% chance. The moment you place it on one enemy, and you spread it by killing them, or even by attacking them, you can't get polymorphed by the spread action. It doesn't deal with issues like Stone Skin, but it's really good. Yeah, so my guide is coming out tomorrow. I know a lot of people have got it coming out today. Mine's coming out tomorrow because I already had a video planned for today, and it was a long video. Mine's like a 50-minute guide, so I cover both Hydra and Arena. So yeah, we are working on fixing the optimizer to support all of his conditions, like especially his passive right now, trying to make this thing work, where he gets increased crit damage. We're also going to try and make that work for Gwendolyn as well. So, because we imagine this crit damage that actually will influence the outcome of the build if you're getting this much crit damage from accuracy. So we need to make it work. Would a champ who debuff spreads me accuracy for the spread? Unless the actual debuff itself didn't. So for example, Astrolith bombs don't require... I'm pretty sure Astrolith bombs didn't require accuracy, so therefore you don't need accuracy to spread them. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's how it works. That as long as the initial act is irresistible, the subsequent spread is irresistible. Could be wrong. How do you become a member or give memberships? You can become a member by pressing the dollar on the bottom, Inri. Inri is the person who loaned me his account, by the way. Hers, I don't want to assume. If I assumed incorrectly, I apologize. For the playtest. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It was great to play test. Actually, it was great fun to actually use some mythical champions, because obviously I only have Garrel. So it's actually quite fun for once to have some mythical champion like fun, because I don't have test server either, so I've never been able to test any of these champions. I wouldn't say... I mean, I've seen bigger Krakens. The account is well stocked, right? There is a +4 to Ross on there, but I don't think it's like any more than... I've seen bigger Krakens, put it like that. I've seen much bigger Krakens in my time. Let's blast this. God, this is so out of date. Just throw that in there. Throw that out. And just bring in, like, Monkey Boy. Go. Thank you so much for the 49 Czech dollars. I think. I'm sure I had the same conversation again, Inri. You absolutely do not need to do that, but I really appreciate it. Loaning me account was good enough, but I appreciate everything. Thank you so much. I know, no test server for me, right? It's really, really frustrating. Appreciate input regarding Newt Blessing last week. I have a similar question about a Boro 6-piece, 6-star, 9-piece Slayer. Is it best to stick with Helm Smasher or Crushing Rend or swap to Cruelty? If she's 6-star, Crushing Rend. All the time. Unless you don't plan on making her do damage. If you don't plan on making her do damage, then there's no point in going Crushing Rend. But if you want to make her do damage, Crushing Rend, and then you index into Helm Smasher. Curry asked me the question. I just realized I didn't answer the question. Are refills worth it even at Silver 2? So here's how it works. You get 29 bars per win. So essentially that's going to be 29 times 3. So that gives you 87 bars per win at Silver 2. For every, I think you get 5 points for every bar. Let me double check that. You get 5 points for every bar. So you're going to get 87 times 5. So per triple win, you're going to get 435 CvC points. So that means per refill, you get 4,350 points. Okay? So 4,350 points translates into around 10 Spider 10 hard runs, if you were to do it in Spider 10 hard, right? Which is the comparison. And in order to do 10 Spider runs, you'd need 200 energy. 200 divided by 1.3 is going to be 1.5, so you need 2 refills. So 2 refills is, 1.5 times 40 at 60 gems equivalent. So effectively, 1 refill is the same value as 60 gems. So you can buy the refills up to the point where it's costing you more than 60 gems, and that's when you stop. That's the way to look at it from those Tag Team Arena refills, right? So for example, I'm not going to buy it just yet because I like to leave it till later. It's going to go 15, I think it was 15, 40 and something else. So it's probably worth it to buy the first 3. After that, it might be not worth it. Effectively at Silver 2, it's worth 1 refill. Tag Team refill is worth 60 gems at Silver 2. Now, obviously, higher up you go, that's different. So, for example, I'm at Gold 2. So at Gold 2, I'm going to earn 44, right? So 44 times 3, that's going to give me 132 gold bars times 5. That gives me 660 points times 10, 6,600 every single time. 6600 divided by 400, that's going to give me a 16.5 runs. 16.5 runs times 20, that's going to give me, it's going to be 330 energy. 330 energy divided by 130, that's about 2.5. So 2.5 times 40. For me, 1 refill is worth 100 gems. As in, that's how much the equivalent breakpoint is. So as long as the refill isn't worth more than 100 gems, it's still better from a CvC point per gem perspective to buy refills than buy tag team refills and buy energy. If that makes sense. Yeah, you need to put one-man defenses up, Kwanzaa. Yeah, it's something like 15, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, QWERTY's got it. And then it caps out at 70. Pretty much as long as I keep my one-man defensive from the day before, I will get knocked down. And then when tag team comes up, I get knocked out again. So it's normally okay. I mean, I think I struggle after about 6 refills per day. So I mean, you can go another layer, crouch in and kind of go okay, but you would have earned silver from the eventual gear. You might be doing it for Dungeon Divers. You've got to make those judgment calls. But in terms of a pure gem per energy comparison between running Spider 10 hard versus Arena at Gold 2, so long as that Arena refill is less than 100 gems, it's more points than running Spider 10 hard with energy. Yeah, we'll do live Arena now. I need to do my dailies, but we'll do that after. In terms of missions, this is where I'm at. I'm a week behind, and I feel so far behind because I missed like a week and a half because I got delayed by something, and it feels frustrating. Like, I know people are on like 30 out of 60, something like that. But tomorrow, hopefully, I will get the last, or basically on reset, I'll get the last ones, and I can do this. I think 4 artifacts to level 6, I think I'm okay for. Let me just check. Rank rarity 6. Awakened. Like, I could do 1 there. Yeah, look, I'm okay. I think I'm okay for this one. I actually had to go farm a bit more greater oil to be able to do the artifact one. Because I got a lot of things at 2-star, but I prepped them thinking I would need to do more 4-stars. I've not got a lot of things at 4-star, because I actually did my 4-stars on 5-star gear, which in hindsight was a bit stupid. It was on 5-star gear I was using, but not 5-star gear now that I can just take to rank 6, because it has to be 6-star. So you see I've got a lot of 2-stars. Because whenever you run these dungeons, you always get lots of lesser and lots of superior, and never enough greater. There we go, there's another one, that's 2. Let's see what else we got. 3. And I'll just have to find another one to do a 4th one. So that should be fine. So on reset, I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when's the Force Iron Twins coming next? Tomorrow. Okay, great. So we got to be careful. Oh, that's going to be annoying. That's going to be really annoying. I'm going to have to buy gems again tomorrow. Do you know what's cost me that? I got 1 essence. I got 2 sets of essence. I got 1 on Sunday and 1 today. And that's now going to mean that I'm not going to be able to earn enough, because typically you earn about like, even if I get 176 times, that's just about enough. So I'm going to have to spend another 150 gems on reset to buy this key. That's annoying. Then this is done. Then this is done. Then this is done. And then I need to wait till Spirit. Then I need to pick a tournament. Then I need to wait till Magic. And then I can finally start catching up with everyone else. I think these are the last gating ones. Like, this is the last gated one over here. So I'm going to have to wait. Hopefully I can get all this done by Sunday. And then we're on to... I need to catch up with people on this point here, because I think a lot of the people will be stuck on this one. So hopefully I can catch up to this one. But, yeah. Oh, is it double points? Oh, well, that's at least something. And I'll get, like, CvC points for spending 150 gems. I hate spending 150 gems in the week. It's so bad. Because the problem, Kwanzaa, if I don't do this key, it puts me behind for this one, which then puts me behind for that one. And it means this one here is now going to be in another week and a half behind. That's why I'm already so far behind, because I missed 1 day and it put me a week and a half behind because of the chaining. So if I miss the Force again, it will put me another week and a half behind because it has to go Spirit Magic. So, for example, this is going to go Force tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. Then it will go Magic, right? So then I can't do this one yet. So I have to wait till Thursday for Spirit to come back. So Spirit will be back on Thursday. Then I have to wait till Saturday to do Magic. So if I don't do the Force today, I have to wait until Friday. Then I can't do the Spirit because I have to wait till Monday. And you see, then I have to wait an entire week and a half. So actually missing these Iron Twins is a huge delay, especially when I've got to sit here and do this. Now, I won't buy the keys for this 40 Immortal Soul, okay? I won't buy anything. I'll just do my usual. I'm not going to go hard and burn gems for this. It's not worth it. I will still buy the Sunday keys. I always do that, but I just want to get to this position really quickly, and because this is simply just a one and done, and the amount of delay it adds to my cycle, I will buy it for this one. Because of the delay it adds. It adds like a week and a half, which is really just stupidly frustrating for me. And obviously, the reason why I'm pushing it is because I do want to be one of the first creators to do it. I think there will be some creators that are on an equal level, maybe even further ahead. I don't really know. Maybe Scratch is further ahead than me, but a lot of people are going to get stuck on Live Arena and Iron Twins Essence. So it gives me an opportunity to catch up, basically. I've been hoarding sort of Mortal Soul coins. I'm up to like 24,000 now. I'm just hoarding them. It's there's no need to really do anything else. So yeah, but that's where I'm at so far. I'm at 13. I should get a good push on reset. I should be able to do this, and this, all on reset, which will be great. So then this will be ready for Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday because it's Spirit now. No, Thursday, and then I just need to plan a top 5 tournament, which is going to be difficult because it needs to end either the day before. I think the arena tournament is going to end too soon. Maybe the tag team tournament is the one to do. But that's going to be difficult as well because that's going to be during CvC. That or it needs to be Ice Golem. So it's either going to be tag team, which I could do. I can go hard on tag team. That's not really a problem. Like I'm already 4th, but people are going to go hard because of CvC, right? So, you know, that will push them. Yeah, Classic Arena is the one to always go for, but the Classic Arena might be out of the window by that point. So, yeah. I think this should be okay as if I just push Tag Team. And Tag Team will finish on Wednesday. So, as long as I don't claim the rewards, just in case it is retroactive now or it's not retroactive, then it should be okay. If not, I can always push Ice Golem because Ice Golem is going to have the Prism duel anyway, so I can push Ice Golem a little bit. I don't know what the artifact drop is. Is it Retaliation? I think the artifact drop's Retaliation, right? Yeah, I have, Nathan. It's a bug. It's going to be bug fixed next update. It's a Togron bug. We love them. Yeah, do you know what? Crouching Grandpa, I'm so pleased that my hoarding is actually paying off. Like, up until today, everyone criticized me for my hoarding. Today, now I finally feel like, you know, all this hoarding has really paid off. For most people, yes, but not for me. Because I want to win the, I want to make sure I'm really high on the tournament, so... Yeah, but the problem with Trunda Yumiko is it's not bugged. It's working as intended. The problem is the concept of what is working as intended is stupid. Something can be working as intended and bad, and then other things can be not working as intended and bad. That's the difference, right? Because some people are saying they're going to nerf it. I'm like, well, they're not really nerfing something that was never intended. Trunda was always intended, so. No, because it's a Togron bug. That's the issue. It's a Togron bug. It's about the max HP increasing. That's where it's kind of going wrong. Right then, let's do some live arena. I've got to endure this live arena stuff. Let's do it. That was my record last time, 6-4. Ugh. Let's do it, on. Let's endure it. Let's see if we can maintain positive win rate. Yeah, Green is probably traumatized because Green Virus had to do 30 wins in Arena. That was brutal. Yeah, Quintus is not far away. I'm pretty close to Quintus now. It's feeling good. No, the dupe rule is so important. When you get to this high level, the dupe rule is so important. It's the only way to play. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go Rhonda, honestly. I don't want to tip my hand too soon. And I do need to increase attack with it, so I'm going to do that. I don't want to tip my hand too soon, just in case they pick something really awful that I have to counter. It's fine. Honestly, the Candrathon feels scarier. Because I can't get to the Candrathon, but I can get to the Harima. But I got an A2 the Marichka if I do that. Maybe the Nekret, he's really... They're all kind of problematic. Take the Nekret out. It's probably a mistake, but we'll find out. The first fight is always a loss because I'm rusty. Well, no, if I get ahead of them, I can just A2 with Ronda, right? So I'm always going to be first. So I can just do this. So that's never really a problem. Harima here was not a problem because I have Ronda. It's just, can I still win with the fact that a revive is going to come in, see? So there's maybe nearly. Nice. So now all I need to do is play it carefully. Just wait for my Ronda's A2. Hopefully Narcissus will not kill it. That's the goal here now. Hopefully Narcissus doesn't have enough damage. Oh, Ronda, you stupid. Never mind. The only good news is they don't actually have a revive. So I can, like, finish that off. And just take him out. There we go. That's why you don't have to ban Harima all the time. As long as I can get to that Harima and A2 it with Ronda, that Harima's never going to stand a chance. Because I placed the block passive skills, that gets rid of the ignore defense passive, and it's too easy. I did like the fact they put Targon on a times 15 the day it was revealed that it's bugged. That was pure. That's peak Plarium, that is. Yeah, I decided to build her in the end because I had a 5-star soul. That was really why I did it. If I go that way, I'm signaling I'm going to go full speed, so. Now, Ultimate Death Knight's the line I won't cross. That's the red line, okay? Just like people say Nuclear War is a line we won't cross, Ultimate Death Knight is on the same thing. Oh god, this team looks awful. This team is kill or be killed. Honestly, I don't know who to ban. Galathir or Warlord's going to have to be banned here. Oh, I do agree. Ultimate Death Knight might be less toxic than Armand's. You're not wrong there. I did just compare Ultimate Death Knight to Nuclear War, yes. That's the level of disgust and hatred I have for him. I kind of want to ban Galathir, but I know I have to ban Warlord. I'm going to lose this. I think I'm going to lose this because I don't think my Shugen's in Supersonic. I do have a follow-up video for Supersonic, by the way. It's in the works. Oh, I'm fast enough. Okay, so this is the only hope I have. It's very slim. It's the only hope I have. Oh, no. It did no damage. Why didn't it kill Galathir? I didn't even see the reaction. Did it, like, how did it not? Does Galathir have something that I can't critically hit him? I didn't even see the reaction effect. I know Galathir's the one I struggle with the most because I can't remember what he does. All I know is Galathir absolutely destroys me whenever I fight him, which is what's happening here. I knew there was something like that. I fight him a lot and I know how bad he is and I should have known this. Like, you need a blimmin' doctorate to understand all these mythical champions. Like, I know a lot of what champions do in the game and I can't keep track of everything that's happening. Yeah, I knew he had a passive or something. Damn. I should have gone and killed someone else. Yeah, Glath is freaking stupid. I should have killed someone else. It's because I got baited by the strong affinity. And this is why I didn't want to pick this last time, because now I can't do anything. I got to ban this. But the only good news is I don't have to ban the Armand, so I can just ban the Tormin. So that's not so bad of a problem. I'm going to change the playlist in a moment because his music is annoying. We might go Garrel and we might go Rotus. It's a good safety net here. Can't, mind you, Narcissus can one-shot me. But he can't really stop me from going first. There's nothing really he can pick that's going to stop me from going first. So, ban the Tormin, pick the Shujen, double boost into kill. Should be fine. Yeah, you do, Thomas. That's why I tend to not pick it as the first 3 picks, because it just baits that Tormin. But I can ban it, right? And there's no way he wins this now, because I can do this, slow him down, take out the this, steal his max HP. Doesn't really matter that he hit me because I've already weakened him. Throw out Unkillable. Do this. I can probably lock abilities. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. This is going to be a revive. There's actually no point me killing the Wukong right now because I've got him under control. Because the Stone Skin is still up, it's a problem. Now I can transform. Now I'll kill them. Again, there's nothing I can really do until the Wukong comes... Until the Stone Skin is gone. The Wukong will come back alive. There's not much I can really do about this. I might still die anyway. We'll find out. Because he's got his A2 now. Oh, nearly. Revive. Need to get rid of the Stone Skin. It's really frustrating. He died. They died. 0% Garrel is scary to fight. I should be okay now because Rotus should get a turn. Oh, it's a tanky Duchess. It's a dead Duchess. Boom. That's better. The problem with the Tormin ban, the Tormin counter, is it only works if Tormin is not the #1 ban. If he had like an Armands, then that's much scarier because I have to ban that Armands. But because he didn't really draft anything that was going to make him take a turn, I can just ban the Tormin, I'll be fine. So... Yeah, well, Garrel's passive is like Leo's passive. So if you take health off Garrel, do it at your own risk. It will hurt. I know, Quirty, right? To be fair, though, watch him not get an extra turn now for the rest of the night. So it's actually quite shocking sometimes how many times I'm wishing I get an extra turn. I pulled my free, yeah, it's on the video DAS, my video today. Best blessing for 6-hour Crizia. It's a big assumption that you're hitting max cap, Vladimir. If you are, probably something like Cruelty, I'd say. Because you're going to use it in PvE, right? So you're not going to use anything else. But I would suggest that in Hydra, it's very difficult to hit cap without Crushing Rend. And this is going to be rough because I have to ban the Crixia. I can go tank. And pick another tanky damage dealer. Like, I can pick you. Break that. Don't pick Ultimate Death Knight. Don't pick Ultimate Death Knight. Please don't pick Ultimate Death Knight. Do not pick Ultimate Death Knight. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't do it to me. Oh, it's still pretty bad, but it's not Ultimate Death Knight. It's still rough, but it's not Ultimate Death Knight. Have you not seen some of the Ultimate Death Knight nuke teams? Some of them are nasty. Honestly, you'd be surprised by how many nuke Ultimate Death Knights are out there. I think I've seen Scratch's one, and I think I've seen Drock's one. It's gross. Some Ultimate Death Knights are so tanky, but they actually do a lot of damage at the same time. No, because I'd still lose to Crixia. Like, just because they don't have a damage dealer doesn't mean I don't win. You can just lose to, like, the support team. There's a very strong possibility I'll lose anyway, because Wukong will just one-shot me. Like, Harima can kill Rhodas. And then AoE me. I just need a turn. It's good. Oh, can I get a turn, please? Let my Narcissus get a turn. That's all I want. Thank you. Kill the monkey. Right, monkey's no longer a problem. Now we just need to kill said revivers. There's 1. 2. The nice thing is the Wukong will continuously try to revive. So every 3 turns, I get like 20% turn meter. That suddenly did a lot more damage. So every 3 turns, my my Ancora gets like 20% turn meter fill. It's quite funny. Not quite. Oh man, she counterattack everything or something. Well, that was that. Block revive to the rescue. What would you class as CvC prep? Getting my account ready, planning different things, getting tag team done, getting tag team refills. I do need to do a bit of planning around what I need to upgrade. I'm planning missions as well. You know, those sorts of things. Grinding up some energy, building up a little bit of a stockpile. Not an awful lot, but this is kind of like, what I'm saying is this stream's a bit of a general stream of doing everything. So, yeah, Agrius, he's got a nasty Ultimate Death Knight. Okay. Well, that sounds like fun sauce. I have no idea how the passive works. Not really. There are some tricks you can do by not doing Clan Boss today, and it gives you free Clan Boss chests, but it's really awkward to do. I always forget. Oh, he's going typical. Okay, fine. Well, I feel like I can just outspeed him and one-shot him, personally. Because I'm going to bring Wukong next. What has he got? Probably Ultimate Death Knight Wukong, I'd imagine. Or like Siphi Duchess, because he hasn't got any revivers right now. So he needs another reviver. So it's probably going to be like Siphi or Duchess, and then it'll be like Wukong or Ultimate Death Knight. And it'll be like 4-stone skin. Okay, Harima. That's fair enough. I think I'm going to go first, so that's not really a problem. So it's, do we go the Wukong or the Ronda? I think we go the Ronda. We probably take out the Reviver. We probably pick this. And then if they've got Bolster, they're dead. If they don't have Bolster, I'll just kill, you know, whatever I can. We'll see what they've got. Maybe they'll have Stone Skin. Oh, they've got Bolster. Wow. Commiserations, my friends. It's nice knowing you. Oh, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect that she lived. Because I could just block passive skills. How many times do people need to learn there's 2 rules of Live Arena. I bet if I asked chat what the 2 rules of Live Arena, they'd be able to tell me instantly. What are the 2 rules of Live Arena? Rule number 1. What's rule number 1? Das Universum has got rule number 2. Rule number 1 is ban our mans. Rule number 2 is no bolster. Don't bring bolster against Narcissus. To be fair, though, he couldn't ban either. Like, he was done whichever way he did it. He was a bit stuffed, so I guess he was just like, maybe I'll go first. But the moment you saw our man's Narcissus picked, you should really kind of go, okay, I need to pivot to either go first or go second, right? You do need to have that kind of thought process. Like here, for example, I know he's going to go first. So I probably need to make sure my Armand's, if he is going to get a turn, he's going to be able to take a turn. But I'm probably not going to get on. I'm probably not going to go first in this team. So I'm not going to pick a team that's going to try and win the speed race if I know I'm going to lose it. So I might as well try and pick a team that can survive the second hit. And if they give me Armand's, great, he's in Stone Skin Supersonic, I'll get some turns out of it. So I'm probably going to have to ban the Yumiko here, if I'm being honest. The Ronda's scary, I'm going to have to ban the Yumiko. Like, for example, I can do this. Not great into... Let's just do that. Don't pick Ultimate Death Knight. Do not pick Ultimate Death Knight. It's good. I might still lose anyway. But this way, I'm tanky. All of my damage dealers are around about 250 speed. Yeah, like, some of these support champs can, you know, do some damage. Like, I could still lose this if the Wukong A2 is just too strong. If he just one-shots my Angkor, there's nothing I can do. Like, he got reacted to. Like, this will probably kill, like, Narcissus or something. Oh, he tried to kill my Ancora. Damn, it's going to block my sleep. It's fine. I only need one turn. What's she going to do? Okay, so kill the Siphi. Then kill the Arbiter. Then kill the monkey. Right, we'll probably won this now. There's no way he... I don't think there's any way that he can do enough damage to really hurt me here. He can kill my Necra, but he won't kill my team. And I got my team back here, so I'm going to kill this. Boom. Boom. Control. We're on a roll tonight. We're doing well. We're in a really good roll tonight. That's 4 in a row. This is unheard of. This is unhealthy. This will not be my experience when I need to win 30. This will be the opposite experience of what I need when I need to build 30. So... Yeah, what? You're in a higher tier than me though, Shooter, right? I'm only in gold 2, so I can get away with it. I need to get more of this quartz. So... I am. It's... Yeah, you're in the middle of gold 3, so yeah, I would say that 250 speed is probably not fast enough for gold 3. Once I hit like gold 3, I'm going to hopefully try and de-rank a little bit so that I don't have to fight all this nasty meta. Because I do want to get all my area bonuses up and running, right? So... Oh god. That's a great start. Yeah, in silver it was so much easier, like 30 wins, but trying to win 30 times in gold 2 and 3 is like awful. That's nothing, Carnifex. I've seen a Jorgid that's got over 8,000 attack, 350% crit damage, and over 300 speed. It's basically a speed lead, some of them. Okay, this is frustrating. I'm gonna lose this one. I shouldn't have gone Garrel against 2 Spirit Magic champions. I was trying to think of champions that it doesn't matter if I get locked out, because I'm probably going to either ban the Siegfried or the Ultimate Death Knight. And I was thinking about Garrel because Garrel will attack all the time. So... It wasn't Drox one that I've seen. I'm probably going to lose this one. It's just such a difficult team to counter. There's really nothing I can do here. Like, I've lost across the board. This one's just gonna... We'll chalk this one up just to a loss. Yeah, Ronda would have been better, but I think even with Ronda, I would have probably lost. Because they've just got too much power. We'll see. Maybe he's got bad gear. I doubt it. Like, you need to ban, like, Mikage and Siegfried and Ultimate Death Knight and Yumiko. I can't ban them all. So I tried to pick champions that are very A1 heavy that can basically counter. This is a very good anti-lockout team because my A1 can reset cooldowns. Necret's passive will get reset, and they're using damage through non-direct skills. The issue is going to be this Necret's probably just going to cut me through. Although Rotus doesn't have... Okay, increased attack. He still one-shot me because he did true damage. The problem is he's just going to A3 and one-shot Garrel. That was just... Nothing I can do there. That was a loss. No, it wouldn't have mattered. You saw I never even got a turn. It's just nothing I can do there that was going to win. Sometimes it'll just happen in draft. You look at it, it goes, there's just draft difference. There's just not much I can do. I don't think it would have mattered. I think he would have just broken through my Garrel and Stone Skin. You got to remember, Siegfried's damage is so crazy strong. There's just... like, whether he killed me on that turn or not, or killed me on the next turn, it wouldn't have mattered. It was too much to ban and too much to counter. But I mean, Garrel wasn't the right pick. So... I was trying to think of champions that are very good into Yumiko. And Mythicals are great. Rotus is great. Necret and Korra is great. You reset a lot. Okay. What would you guys recommend for an Asuga build? Probably Stone Skin now. Unless you can confidently not fight a Narcissus, Bolster's very dangerous. I'm probably just going to lose this one. I was hoping I could bait the ban. Like, bait him to ban my Tormin so that I can keep our mans. I should have banned the Siphi, really, but lockout's always a problem. You never know. Arbiter's first, so he can't A3, otherwise he might freeze. He shouldn't A3. He should just A1. If I'm playing this, I A1. Alright, buddy. I love that freeze doesn't fire for me. It's probably because he's not booked, and I need about 200 bucks. Oh, wow. He missed. Not going to miss that one, though. Will I get a turn? That's the question. Will I get a turn? Will I get... Yes, I will. Nice. That's why I took the lockout, because at least I can get a turn. Now, the only downside is I've lost a ton of max HP. So... And my Stultus is just not ready for damage yet. He's not got Helm Smasher. He's still not booked fully. I just lost this one straight up. Nothing I can do. Spoke too soon. We're going on a losing streak now. That was unfortunate. So many champions need to get booked. It's unreal. Can you tell me, please, if this clan boss would work? Kale, a Deacon, a Rakta, Anax, and Nazana. Yeah, that looks good. You got so early game. You got ally protection from Nazana. You've got poisons from Anax. Rector Drath will give you decreased attack. Deacon will give you decreased defense. You can probably drop the Kale for someone else if you want, but it works fine as well as your first 60. Yeah, but I knew I wouldn't have enough damage without the increased defense, QWERTY. And I would have lost regardless, I think. Ah, man, what the hell is this? See, this is why when people were saying in the videos, oh, the game's got out of control, they're adding in these Prism duels, it's going to make Krakens really crazy. Look at this. I don't think Prism duels are going to be a problem. Look at it. It's already there. It's been there for months. Yeah, there is a point, Radu. If you get a 6-star legendary soul, that's worth 30,000 points. You know, look at this. 5-star, 2 mythicals. I don't think the Prism duels are a problem here. It's already out of control. You don't get bots in gold. You just get a 1-minute timer. What do I ban? I'm stuffed whatever I do. Do you know the only hope I've got? Ban the aura. It's the only hope I've got. He gave me our mans, but I don't think it's going to matter because I bet he's all stone skin. At least I'll go first. Okay, that's not too bad. I can steal 2 Termitas. Great. And then I can hopefully put you into lock. Okay, well. Let's just try kill you. Okay. Well, we broke this stone skin. That's hope. We won't have any turns now, and we'll probably get one shot by Siegfried, but we broke this stone skin. That's something. We're going to get one shot, but hey, we broke this stone skin. Honestly, Siegfried did not need to become this ultra nuke damage dealer. All they had to do with Siegfried was simply give us a chance to metamorph. He's still not a mythical champion. Now he's just an obnoxiously overpowered champion. It's amazing how they managed to not solve the problem. And this is why I have no faith in their boss rework. This is what happens at Lufty when you don't win. You wait 1 minute. But this is why I have no faith in their boss rework. Because all they're going to do is nerf the bosses. Because they don't actually know what the core problem is. Whenever they make a fix for something, they're not actually at the core root of the issue. They find some way to make the issue not what the problem was, and then still not solve the problem. But now we have another problem we have to deal with, which is a Siegfried that just one-shots everything. Whether it has increased attack or not. It's crouching. What happens is, you lose 3 in a row. In non-gold, when you lose 3 in a row, it gives you a bot to make you feel better. But because there are no bots in gold, it can't do that. So it will crash out on 1 minute, which is the default timer. Then it puts you back into the actual matchmaking. So the problem here is I lost 3 in a row. Therefore, I get a bot, but the bots can't exist, so I have to wait a minute. Why they can't fix the problem, I don't know. I mean, it's not about whether Siegfried's overpowered, QWERTY. What I'm saying is the problem with Siegfried was you couldn't metamorph him. They didn't solve that problem. They just made him Giga OP on the base form. They didn't need to do that. He was a great mythical champion if you could metamorph him. But he's never going to be a mythical champion because you can never metamorph him. So he's practically useless on the alternate form. Mythical champions like Ophidius, for example. Everyone doesn't like Ophidius because his alternate form sucks. So if they just made his alternate form better, then he's more of a mythical champion. That's why Ophidius is seen to be a bad champion, because actually his base form is very good. But because he's mythical, he needs to be more than just a good base form. No, I don't, Reaper. I think all they're going to do is just nerf the bosses. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but history tells me they don't fix the issue. They just either force you to do it or they make it easier. They don't actually fix the underlying problem. I'm pretty confident I can win the race if I do that and that. I don't know which one you're referencing, Luke. No, apparently they can't reproduce the problem. There we go. They don't know how to reproduce the 1 minute problem, even though it's pretty easy. But there you go. Yeah, what they'll probably do is they'll go, instead of it being 7 attacks, it's now 10 attacks. Instead of it reducing the incoming damage by 75%, it'll reduce it by 50%. They'll just nerf the numbers down. They won't systematically change the boss. That's... I mean, that's too easy. Revive, that's fine. Well, of course he's broken. We said this from day one. They didn't listen. They don't care. That's why I don't really see there like this issue around the Prism duels being like power creeps too far. The power creep has been like this for like ages. We've been in this power creep problem for at least 5 months now. And the last 3 months has gone from like here to like here. So honestly, it doesn't really matter. Let's kill off Rhodas. It's a bit annoying. He shouldn't have any abilities. Why is he getting it? Oh, come on! I hate it when this Rotus thing happens. It never happens to my Rotus. I always A1 and I never get anywhere. Can I get a turn, please? I have to revive him, otherwise he'll never get a turn. And grant a turn. A2, finish them off. Thank you. Ugh. And that's the end of that. I'm losing my mind with it. No more. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. It's over. When's the next spend crests? Force, Spirit. There. So we'll hold it. Because I do have... It's ready. 20% ignore defense and Hydra is ready. So, yeah. Exactly, Kerry, right? I lost 3 in a row. 6-4, though. It's a positive. It's a good win rate. We had a good run of it. So... And they're making... honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to fix it for the optimizer. Right now, I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to make the optimizer work with the new Cursed City Cintranos. I need to have a real think about it because it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Because they're going to randomize every rotation. So there aren't any rotations anymore. So... yeah, so this is what I think they're going to do with Sand Devil, right? They're going to come into Sand Devil. They're not going to change anything here. All they're going to do is they're going to go into here and they're going to go, hey, let's bring this multiplier down by 10%. Let's bring this multiplier down and this down by 10%. Let's make it so that maybe this is like 50% and it comes down instead of 75%. Cool. Maybe this destroys it by 5%. They'll just tweak some numbers. They have no competency to actually think about the root problem. Do you know what? The boss is not a problem. I actually think Sand Devil is one of the best designed bosses they've done. And I don't think it needs changes. The problem is there is just no alternatives to an Eerie. Because there's just no good debuff champions that can do what it needs to do in the rotation. There's Riho. That's it. So your problem isn't the mechanics, the problem is champion availability. It is the roles that you require to make it work. Everyone's saying Adeline is really good, not because Adeline's a great champion, because she's the only other sleep champion apart from Sify that's going to work. So if you just went in, right, so this is how I would fix the problem. You go into here, and you go into Skinwalkers, and you go, hey, look, Where is he? Snorting Thug is useless. Okay, let's give him a sleep. Awesome. What about, let's see, come out of this faction. Let's go into Orcs. What have we got in here? We've got Tagoa. Actually, he's quite a good champion. I shouldn't really do it to Tagoa. Maybe like Bloodfeather. Let's give it a sleep. Awesome. Now let's go into Night Revenants. Tell you what, someone like Nama doesn't quite hit the mark. Okay, give it a sleep. Just go through the roster. Find the least played legendaries. Pick 5 or 6 of them. Find 5 or 6 epics and add 10 more sleeps to the game. Add 10 more multi-debuffers to the game. For things like Iron Twins. Add better ways to deal damage to the boss. Simple. The bosses are already beaten with full unkillable teams. Do they think that people are not going to just like run those teams? You know, what the problem is a lack of champion availability and the rewards are terrible. That's why people aren't running Iron Twins, because it's not good rewards. People don't run Sand Devil because unless they can do 25, it's not worth running Sand Devil. Same with Shogun's Grove. If they simply moved this dust, so this dust appeared at stage 17, and it went 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 3, 4 to 3, 5 to 3, whatever, and then just change the drop rates so that I could get it at stage 17, good change. You don't need to change the boss. The boss is fine. The lack of champion availability is the problem. It's the same in Hydra. The Torment Head has been out for 2 years, and we are still locked into Duchess, Firil, Tuhanarak, Shamael. Those 4. And we can test this, because I guarantee you if I look through all of these top teams, at least one of them is going to have one of those 3. Tuhanarak. This one here actually doesn't, but that's because it's Supreme Garlic here, so we can just kill heads really quickly. Tuhanarak. Awesome. Shamael. What else we got here? This one, actually, they're just doing a double cleanse strategy. You know, doesn't always happen. This one is again, they're fighting the RNG. But I will say all these teams that don't have it are probably like, got to kill that Torment Head really quickly, and they're losing damage because of it. We're still on that same curve that nearly all of these teams have to have one of those 4 options. Why aren't there more champions with Perfect Veil? Like, it baffles me. Like, you have had 2 years to add more Perfect Veil champions, and the moment you do, which is Firil, we think it's great. Like, why is Firil so popular? Because he fills all these roles. You know, we could go through this one again. Look, Shamael. Duchess, Shamael. This one, we're just cleansing. We're hoping for the best. Shamael. Tuhanarak. Shamael. We're just hoping for a cleanse here. Shamael. It's ridiculous. Oh my god, look at this Hydra Clash. We kind of called it this week. Veil doesn't, only Perfect Veil. Only Perfect Veil. That's what's even worse about it. There was an epic that could do Veil, and they buffed the head to not allow it to work. They actually reduced the champion pool. Yeah, we kind of dived out of this. It was not worth it. Look at this. How do you only do 70 million with this team? I don't understand. How? I don't get it. I don't understand. Make it make sense. Yeah, she has Perfect Veil. Like, literally. Make it make sense. Please. He's not tanking because he did a 10 billion key. And he did a 374 million key. I guess he just thought it was enough. I don't know. Because that's embarrassing. Probably just put it on auto and forgot about it, didn't he? Look, there's 2 10 billion keys in this team. As you can imagine, we kind of decided to give up this one. You know, wasn't worth it. We were out. We realized we were going to lose. Because, you know, even some of these teams are really strong in terms of like, oh, they're all Trunda teams. Trunda Finer team. Yes. That's, it's not great. This is what I hate. This is what I hate about the Trunda team, right? This is fundamentally why I hate the Trunda team. This person is incapable of doing more than like can't do 100 million on Nightmare. But because of the stupidity of Trunda teams, like, I got 10 billion, not a problem. Easy, boys. But the gear doesn't qualify for this, right? This team here, this team should be able to do Nightmare. It's a 6-star Trunda. It's not even in Crushing Rend. Like, I can't with this. And look how easy it is. It's built completely wrong. And yet it's still better. And it puts them into a league above everyone else. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You know, I don't mind losing to this type of teams. You know, 170 mil, Nightmare. You know, Nightmare teams that are really well. Like this team here. Great. Haven't got a problem. He's probably min-maxed this, worked really hard, has put these champions in the right build. You can see you've got triple Cruel Shamiel, really going hard for it. Great. Absolutely not a problem. Well, this type of stuff really frustrates me because if you don't have this team, this person doesn't even get close to 1 billion. But that one team alone, it's frustrating. You know, it is really frustrating. And people are now realizing you don't even need Yumikos to build it, because that's what I did. So it's only going to make it worse. Like, all these teams don't need Yumiko. Every single one of these have got a Trunda team. But actually, I hope, and I still want everyone to build the Trunda team. The only hope we have is that everyone only builds Trunda teams. It's the only way they're going to change it at this point. Because, you know, look at this. I actually don't mind losing to it. Look at this. Look. Look at it. It's not even the worst thing I've ever seen. That one player literally has 45 to 50% of what our entire clan scored last time on his own. But I will say, his Nightmare team is proper good. So I'm less upset about this one, because actually when you look at it, you're thinking, well, he's done 500 million on Brutal and 700 million on Heart. Like, should be up there. He is a very strong player. I'm less offended by it. I get more offended by the fact that some random Trunda players managed to pull a few champions and now all of a sudden can compete in the top echelons of Hydra Clash. Not so much the top, you know what I mean? Because of that one team. When clearly they're not at that level of progression. It should be ability and gear, not just champions. And that's why I get frustrated, because it's just so imbalanced. It's so imbalanced. Like, I don't know how you can defend it from player side anymore. I really don't. It's stupid. I just don't get it. But maybe I'm just, you know. And this is the thing. If they care, this is why I'm saying I don't think they'll do anything to the bosses. Because they can't fix a simple problem like this. So all they're going to do is nerf the bosses to make people happy. They're not actually going to get to the root of the problem. Which, you know, it's disappointing, but what can you do, eh? What can you do? Rant over. Exactly, it's hard to build. Well, the thing about the Yannicka thing, they're not nerfing it. That's a bug. Okay, there is a bug with the way that Togron's passive works. That's just a simple bug. That's a bit different. That was not actually working as intended at all. The problem is this is working as intended, but when they added new content, it's got out of control. So instead of fixing it so that it's balanced for that new content, they just carried on. They just let it be, which is a problem. I don't think it has made them that much money. Has it really made them that much money? A lot of these players have had Trunda for a while. They're not chasing the Yumiko for it. Like, I think you overvalue how much money Hydra Clash makes them. How come is it different? Because Trunda is working as the skill is intended. Whereas Yannicka, Togron's passive is not meant to be doing what it's doing. so therefore it's bugged, right? Trunda is doing what she's meant to be doing. We're not saying that the Trunda thing is a bug. I'm saying that Trunda thing is imbalanced. The difference with Togron is there's a bug, so therefore it needs to be fixed, okay? That's the difference, and people sometimes get confused with this between nerf and bug fix. A nerf is taking something that's working as intended and reducing its strength. That would be what they'd have to do to Trunda, right? When they nerfed Madman, they took what Madman was doing, which is working as intended, and took away elements of that ability to make it work differently. That is directly nerfing. A bug fix is fixing an issue where the ability is doing something that it's not meant to be doing. For example, when Nogdar was reducing the Sand Devil boss's HP to 1 HP, it was not meant to do that. It clearly said it wasn't meant to work on bosses, but for whatever reason, the coding allowed it. So they had to bug fix it. There is a big difference between bug fixing and nerfing. Yes. Trunda's intended to do that. No. Trunda's not a bug. Trunda is working how it's coded. Right? A plus A, 1 plus 1 equals 2. That is Trunda. Whereas Togron is 1 plus 1 equals 5. It's not working as intended. You'd be surprised, Candace. A lot of people are saying that. No, I haven't talked about Wixwell Kragan. We'll talk about that in a second. Yes, technically Shamael's passive is bugged, but they've since updated the description, and I think they've accepted that the bug that they created is actually the consequence they wanted. So you can take something that's unintended and then just leave it and make it intended, right? So you could say that they didn't intend for Trunda to do this much damage, but they've accepted that it is working as intended. Coding-wise, it's not bugged. But actually it is, from a balance point of view. But coding-wise, it's not bugged at all. It's working as intended. Whereas the Togron passive is not meant to be doing what it's doing, where it's like extending the HP shield. There's something going on with between growing the max HP shield and when you buff spread the shield. It's breaking the game code. So, no, it's working as intended. It's just badly coded. Because I will say that multiplying multipliers as a game principle is really bad. You should never really multiply multipliers because you end up in this like really bad situation where you can get out of control. No, what I'm saying is they coded it when they didn't have all these elements in the game, right? Nobody's gone back to refactor it. It's almost like, the best way to describe it is like cars. You buy a car, you drive it for 10,000 miles, and then you take it back to the garage. The garage does a service to make sure that the car is still working as you expected. The problem is they never took Trunda back to the garage. They just let it keep driving. But now it's got to a point where Trunda is able to go like 400 miles an hour when it should only be going 100 miles an hour. So it needs to be taken back to the garage to be reserviced back to where it should be because the game content has changed or the skills have done. We've had more stats. We've had stat bloat. We've had blessings. We've had all these different things since Trunda have come out. And nobody's thought about reworking that to make sure it's still in the game balance. This is why you have teams dedicated to game balance in a lot of games. Riot, for example, have a very big team dedicated to balance in League of Legends because it requires careful maintenance. And that's what they have just not done. They just nobody's gone back and they're aware of it. They've just accepted it as a reality. Thoughts on Heimer the Mord? You build her like Doom Priest, and that's about it. I mean, it's very hard for me to make anything about Heimer the Mord because for the majority, people never get her. But yeah, I'd build her like Doom Priest. It's kind of like what she is. She's a golden Doom Priest. So... yeah, I don't think it needs to be to the level of MOBA, but someone in the room, when they add new features like decapitation heads, needs to go, do we have any multipliers that are going to be affected by this dramatically? And you go Trunda's A2 and you say, oh, maybe we should stop that being crit. There also needs to be a consistency. Someone involved that is managing consistency so that things like Yumako's A3 isn't reducible. Things like Trunda's A2 doesn't crit on the second form like every other excess hit. Technically, for me, Siegfried and Trunder, both of their secondary hits should not be critical. Because as a principle, secondary hits should not crit. As a principle. Sun Wukong doesn't do it. Falman doesn't do it. So why does Siegfried do it? As a principle, they all shouldn't do it. Multiplying multipliers is bad. General game design principle. Yeah, I'm on a grand old 0. Ooh, we do have 2 remnants tomorrow. Excellent. I'm on a grand old 0. What's it? 21 left? Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. But yeah, with Shamael now, I think they've actually just updated him to say it works on the leader. Look. Whenever an ally receives a fear, this skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill the leader's turn meter. They've actually made it so that the bug is now what it's meant to be. Which is fine if that's the case. It's not a problem. Should use 73 Remnants. Remnants, I believe, are best summoned in CvC because if you get a mythical out of them, it's the highest points. So, for me, the most important thing that I would have is Crixia. Crixia would be the most valuable thing for me because I don't have a reset champion. And I don't have a lockout champion. In terms of what I would like the most, Toshiro could be fun. I'm trying to think now who I'd want. Crixia is the most logical one. Lazarius is not bad either. He fits into a lot of soul cross stuff. Alaz, Siegfried, Galathir. Basically the newer ones. I don't really care for Androck now, but Galathir. Probably Galathir, the Lazarius, Gizmak, or Alaz would be my next pick after Crixia. They're all kind of strong. All the newer ones are strong. So, they're really strong, so. Remnants because it's the best chance for Mythicals, and Mythicals give you the most amount of CvC points. Yeah, Toshiro's the best Hydra champion in the game for damage, by far. Toshiro's Hydra damage is nuts. Yeah, Galathir, I suppose, is a lockout too. I forgot about its passive here. Like... Wait. No, he can be critically hit. It's just his damage passive means that he just has lots of resistance, so he takes no damage. Wait. He can't be critically... He can be critically hit. He just has strength then. Or did the active effect fire? Oh, okay, I think the active effect fired. It must have. Yeah, it must have been the active effect. It's really annoying. So it basically killed him, but didn't kill him. Yeah. He's just stupid. Galathir is so strong. When you get him into this other form, this just becomes intolerably difficult to do anything. Just can't do anything, you know? And you can build in full resistance because in his alternate form he gets accuracy equals to this. These mythical champions have too much in them. All of the mythical champions just have too much. The problem... Do you know what they should do? They should make it so that you have to build towards one form. That's the way I would build mythical champions. 2 champions in one, but you cannot build them... Like, there's punishment. So they're balanced. So, for example, this guy, if I want to use him in base form, I need a lot of resistance to keep him alive. But when I go over to here, it should be you need accuracy. It shouldn't be like you get loads of accuracy for free. You should have to build accuracy so that you have to play towards one form or the other. That's how you balance them. Mezzo's still very popular in high-end arena because of the block revive. Where is it? I'm sure it's block revive, right? One of these form block revives. This one. That's why Mezamol is used quite a lot, is this form here. Because it ignores everything and you can just block revive. It's very powerful. Well, you won't anymore because Siegfried and Crixia, the other mythicals, are really strong. That's what you got to remember. This is what the problem with Carnage is. The only reason why Siegfried is strong because they rebalanced him. But let's look at the day 1 launch. Frolny, not that good. Mezamol, falling out of the meta. Who else was day one? He wasn't. Garrel. Still quite good, but not really for PvP. Better for PvE. We've got Arbaeus. Is used, but not top of the arena anymore. Like, it's still quite good, but not the best. Mikage is obviously the free login is really good. And then we've got, what's the other one? There's one more that came out on launch. Who was it? It wasn't Crixia. It was Mesamol, Siegfried, Frolny, Arbaeus. Who was the other day one? It was 5 on day one. Garrel. There we go, Garrel. Like, Garrel was the best of the bunch. But since then, we've had one of the best lockout champions in the game. We've had one of the best damage dealers in Lazarius. We've got Galathi now, another crazy lockout. Alaz, the best defense-based damage dealer right there. Siegfried now got buffed. So the problem you're going to have is, as they add more mythical champions, the ones they added 4 months ago are going to be worse. So, you know, that is the main crux of the problem here. Man, I need to clear my inventory so bad. Yeah, I mean, they got Powercraft immediately, right? And the other issue you've got is by the time you ever get a mythical champion, the one you get is probably power crept so bad, because the power creep in this game has gone from, like, you know, reasonable pace to insane. We've had the best Terminator control champion in the last update. We've had champion equal to Nekmothar as the last fusion. We had Narcissus, top tier arena nuker, as the previous fusion. Like, you look at the last 5 fusions, you know, with the exception of probably the Blade Masters, but even then, Archer got released with the Blade Masters, one of the best Hydra champions in the game. Wixwell. We can pull up Wixwell now, because he's the next one, isn't he? Where's the link? Let's find the link. Yeah, so we've got Wixwell here. He's going to be really strong. I will say, though, this vote was always going to be rigged. This was always going to be the champion that was going to get picked. Yeah? This one here, for example, 50.5%. I bet they've moved the numbers to make sure. It was always going to be the one that they wanted. Because, you know, there's 2 ways you do it. You either make all of the effects that you want so unique that it forces people to do it, or you basically rig the vote in the favor you want, because they're not going to want to develop 3 champions here, right? I know how this works. So what do we got then? A1 has a double hit, 40% chance to provoke. If the target is a boss, 80%. It's brilliant for Kuldath. It's really good for Hydra. There is an assumption I think people have made that it books to 20%. I don't think necessarily it does. But even at 80%, as long as he's, you know, neutral affinity, then it should go, I think, like a 96% chance. So even if it has no books, it's 96% chance that this A1 will land a provoke, because it's a double hit, which is probably the best provoke champion for A1 in the game. He beats Islin. Then we have the A2. Attacks all enemies. Has a 100% chance of placing a decreased attack. Then will increase the duration of all ally buffs. Then he will increase the value of all shields. And the value of the shield is increased to the number of buffs that you've increased. So it's probably going to go per hero. So, for example, if an ally has got 5 buffs, it's probably going to extend those buffs. It might extend the shield by 5%, 10%, 15%, depending on what the value is going to be, 3%, 4%, whatever the multiplier is. Again, it feels like an upgraded Islin, because we've got A1 provoke at a very high rate. We've got increased defense on the next ability in a minute. We have decreased attack. Instead of a debuff duration reducer, he's an increased buff duration reducer instead. You know, he's the other way. Then we have A3. It places 2 intercept stacks on this ally. I think intercept's a bit useless. And the reason why is it's single target. Like, who are you going to put intercept on? It will block an attempt at placing crowd control. I will say, put an intercept on Carnage, and then using Carnage's A2 and A3 could be very good in Arena. But it's very, very niche. It's never going to happen. Why would you pick it over any mythical champion, you know? And outside of Arena, where are you going to use it? It doesn't work in Torment because it's not AoE. It doesn't work against Wrath. It's not AoE. It doesn't work against Suffering. It's not AoE. Where are you taking single target crowd control? Like, where are we taking that? I don't really know. Yeah, Islin does have decreased speed, yeah. It's bugged Wild Hunt. It will be fixed in the next patch. Yeah, I mean, it'll be good when there's AoE. If this was AoE, then it's okay. But I just don't see any place in the game where you can actually use this intercept buff for any value. Well, Torment's not really going to work because you're just going to get refrozen straight away. So you kind of just use the first part. You ignore the intercept, and you will just take increased defense and the shield, which is the Islin part I was talking about, right? So you have increased defense, shield on all allies, extend the shield and the buff duration with decreased attack on all allies, and then an A1 provoke. Makes him exceptionally good for Hydra. And then passive-wise, I think I've already voted, so we know it's going to be the defense focus, and this is confirmation bias, in the sense that, not so much confirmation bias, but bias, because all of the others are green, we might as well make the last one green, right? If you're given 4 choices, 3 of them are red, the 4th choice you're going to pick is red, because that's the way human brains work. So we're going to get this counterattack. This counterattack is basically just there so that he can be a mischief target. I think you build him in 9 out of 9 protection to mitigate the risk of having counterattack stolen. You make him a mischief target, put him in resistance and accuracy, and just make him provoke the head. And that is pretty good for Hydra. Other than that, I think he's pretty much, for an endgame account, useless. For an average player, a great support champion. You can put him in all content and he will carry your teams. But for the end game player, which is obviously where I kind of put my brain at, I have no area in the game where he's going to be useful for me. I don't even know if he makes it into any Hydra team. Personally. You know, because he could replace Alatrian, but I already have Archer, so it's kind of like a step down. So, yeah, for an early game progression, he'll be a great fusion. I think he's still a fusion you get. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, when you start getting towards the latter half of the game, your progression, he will become a Hydra specialist. He won't become anything else. Because, to be honest, shield extension now has, like, the shield growing concept died with Corpulent Cadaver. They over-nerfed it, so it's not that great. You might be able to find some, like, versions of the Affinity Comp that's still used in Clan Boss, right? It just won't be, like, the crazy ones, but it will be some versions out there. If you don't have a Brogni, for example, you can run the Infinity Comp. But, yeah, it's all right. But we don't know what type of fusion he'll be, no. So, Togron's going to get fixed by the patch, Dutchy. Like, Togron will get fixed in the next update. They'll bug fix it, so by the time you get Wixwell, Togron won't be a thing. They won't allow that to go on for too long. Yeah, he's probably a good Islin replacement. We don't know what affinity he is either, right? So if he's not Void, for example, say like he's Spirit, then he's still an affinity issue for that A1 provoke. The only good news is this is a double hit. on a very high chance, so it makes him a little bit less scary to use. So they're already removed, Vladimir. I don't know if I removed them from Clan Boss, though. I may not have removed them from Clan Boss. I did definitely remove them from Hydra. I might need to remove them from Clan Boss as well. So it's a bug with his passive Crazy Thunder. I don't think it will grow to enough extent, Dutchy. I don't think it will grow to enough extent, will it? I did. It was in the video that I released, not the last video, the video before Brandon. There's a link in that description of that video. It depends, like, Dutchy, what it's going to come down to is what is the multiplier, because they actually didn't, do you know what, I hate this. I can't go back. Like, it won't let me go back. And then it gives me this. Like, I don't want, I just want to go back to preview the other skills. Why won't it let me? It's really annoying. Let me, if I do this, there we go. Just need to click on it again. Like that. It really depends on the percentage, because they don't tell you. The value of each shield is increased proportion to the total number of buffs. Was that 1%? 5%? 3%? 0.5%? Is it a fixed number? We have no idea. And it's going to be per target, right? So if I have 5 buffs, even if it's like 5% per buff, it's still going to increase the shield by 25%, right? So if I've got a 25,000 shield, then that will become, you know, that if it's the best case scenario, which would be 5% per buff, and I have 5 buffs that I extend, that it only increases the shield by 6,000. It's not anywhere near the extent in which Brogni extends shields. And that's probably where the issue will come, is can you actually grow the shield big enough and continuously spread it to the extent that... Because remember, Togron's spread is not that powerful. In the sense that he will only spread one random buff. So if you need buffs to grow the shield, then what happens if you get really bad luck and you don't extend and don't spread that shield? Does the shield deplete? Do you run out of shield? It's very, very strong possibility. Falman is a very, very strong damage dealer. Setting him up is hard. Works best with Cardiel, but Falman is really, really strong. So... yeah, do you know what Adlin is doing for me? Adlin is working hard here. Yeah, of course you can run extenders. I'm just saying, like, one of the issues is spreading them around enough that it doesn't get stolen. Right, you got to remember, you need the buff to be stolen and then spread. So if you need a lot of buffs, it's not just going to be the shield that gets stolen. It's going to be all of the buffs. So that could be strengthen, increased defense. It could be like, how many buffs are you going to have? That's the challenge you've got. Can you actually set it up so that you have enough buffs to grow the shield, but not so many buffs that you actually kill yourself? You'd be better off using Brogni and doing that strategy, Dutchy, if I'm being honest. It's just more consistent. Like, maybe it works with Brogni. Maybe we need to test that. Can you just Togron spread with Brogni instead? I don't think this guy's going to be able to do it because it's too difficult to get the growth going on. This is why all other shield growths just don't work outside of Brogni. It's because his is purely based on damage, which you can control. Right, it's going to extend it by 30% of the damage. So if you hit for 100,000, that's a 30,000 extend. The best case scenario, you extend about 5 to 10,000 on that other one. No, I know. I like the idea actually with Brogni. It's probably worth trying it with Brogni, yeah. As like basically replacing the Corpulent Cadaver with the Yannicka and using Brogni. That's a great idea. The only challenge you've got is trying to make sure you get the right extension and steel and sort of stuff like that. Yeah, but you need to increase the shield, right? You need to increase the shield and extend it. So you need, like, triple extension with Brogni, Yannicka, and Togron. So, like, triple Godseeker Ranieri, double Taras was in the example. You could run, like, you know, you could run Wixwell alongside Brogni. You wouldn't use Brogni shield, you'd use an artifact set, John. But, I mean, one thing to remember, they are also stopping Togron from spreading artifact shields. So it's only going to be it's only going to be ability shields they're going to stop. So that will have an impact. So, yeah. It's an interesting idea. I don't think it will be... I don't think it will be, you know... I don't think it'll work. Armand's needed to be nerfed before he was even added to the game. It's not a question of do I, it's a question of why didn't they? To be honest. That's the problem with Armand's. He's just so overpowered. It's unreal. When do I need to do my Hydra key? Will I be able to do my Hydra key before Wednesday? That's what I got to determine. So it's Tuesday today. But do you know what I didn't do, actually? Will I need to collect clan calls? I think I forgot to do my clan quests. Whoops. Yes. When is this due? Magic. So I'm going to need to make sure I take clan quests. I need 800. So that's 350, 200, and 100. So 100 plus 200 plus 350. I'm going to have to take... Oh, wait. It doesn't reset till tomorrow. Oh, that's fine. Wait, it's Monday today. What day is it? I don't know anymore. Okay, so I need to make sure I take 350, 200, and 200, right? 200 plus 200 plus 350. No, I need to take two elites and one expert. So I have to take 2 elites plus 1 expert. 350 plus 350. I can take 2 elites plus 1 basic, but I can't take... I have to take 2 elites. Well, that will be fun. Oh, we need to do this. Dwarves. All right. It's not really that hard, is it? Just do that. Yeah, I'll buy my tag teams in a bit. Oh, why are you doing this? I hate the default behavior. Boof, boof, boof. This should be pretty quick. I might just see if I can get a decreased defense. Make it even faster. No, it didn't. I think they basically updated a number of core technical components to the game. So if you're expecting to have RSL Helper back anytime soon, I got a feeling that might be a longer update. Be prepared for that. You might have to endure the entire CvC without RSL Helper. It's a very strong possibility. Because when we looked at it, we had to upgrade a number of our components. It's broken some of my tools as well that I need to fix. And based on the way that RSL Helper works and how long it takes them to normally do an update, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an extended period of time for that update. Unless it's already out. I could be wrong. I haven't seen his announcement yet. He may have automatically done it. Who knows? It's a very strong possibility, you know? How do I feel about the Cursed City? They haven't solved the problem of the Cursed City, which is silver. Until they solve the problem of silver, Cursed City will always be, I think, a problem. And not a successful release. Because essentially, there's just not a viable way to manage your account with it. And that's the problem. Yeah. So what they did is they basically updated a number of core components. Question, does this quest now work with super raids? They fixed CvC, did they fix clan quests? Or is it still, you have to do it one by one? They did. Okay, great. Thank God. I'm manualing it because I need to do it for this. Can I just do it, like, is there a decreased defense? Dwarf. Is there not? Do you have gear? Yeah, sort of. They'll do. Yeah, so they basically updated a number of core components which are required for the Unity engine to operate and the way that it deals with different things, which required us to update the systems, which means that if we've had to do more updates, I imagine Farbstuff has got a lot of work to update, because obviously we don't engage with anything in the game engine, in the sense that we don't write back into the game engine, we don't control the game engine, we read the data. His is going to require a lot more effort, I think. So yeah, be prepared for the reality that maybe you don't have RSL help at this CvC. It's a possibility. Depends how good Farbstuff is for getting it sorted. I'm double checking because I'm paranoid about it. Does work good. But yeah, Julian, you're not wrong. The biggest problem with the Cursed City is they haven't really, like, when Cursed City came out, they promised a bigger than Doom Tower experience that was constantly going to be different and it wouldn't be the same. When in reality, what we've got is a weaker Doom Tower with the same thing every single month. Like, it is the same thing, is it not? Like, stage 19 is the same fight over and over again. We always fight Sand Devil at stage 9. The double bosses pairings are the same double bosses pairings. You know, there's no rotational aspect to it. And what I think they're trying to do with this recent update is create rotations without creating rotations. Effectively, they do what they always do with content, which is make it and then forget about it. And then 6 months later, they come along and do a little quality of life patch to make it more relevant. But ultimately, they forget about it and then move on to something else, which is to some extent fine if the content is good. Like Doom Tower, I'd love to see more different rotations, but I understand why they don't do it, because every rotation you add means that it's longer to get back to that other rotation. You know, it's pretty bad right now. We have to wait 3 months for a Dark Fae Tower. That's why I think the better solution for the Doom Tower is for you to be able to exchange the materials between sets, so that when I am farming, say, Sorath, I can exchange those for the lethal set that I want, rather than making more lethal rotations, make it so I get access to more of it. That, for me, is a better solution. But with Sintranos, we're fighting the same fights over and over. They're trying to create the illusion that they have got unlimited rotations, when in actuality, it's the same stuff we continuously fight every single month. And it's because I think they're done with the content. Which is a shame, because they did say they were going to be updating it. So unless they're going to add new things to the Cursed City and Sintranos, you know, it feels a little bit like we've kind of washed our hands of it. Because it's not that hard to make new rotations, is it? Is it really that hard to move a few bosses around? It's changing numbers. Certainly the solo bosses, it shouldn't be a problem to change the solo bosses. You could understand maybe that some dual bosses wouldn't work, but definitely the solo bosses, like, make it so that stage 9 entry is Ice Golem or Dragon or Shogun or Sand Devil. Like, don't make it Sand Devil every single time, because that becomes boring. You know what I mean, Benjamin? Yes, I am changing ones and zeros. What I mean, though, is you actually just change the integers of the actual values. Like, pick a different boss model. My note's only like 3-star, so it's quite low. It's only an 8%. We don't quite hit the breach point, you know? No, I know. I mean, I can fix the silver economy in a day. Give me a developer, I can fix the silver economy in a day. It's not hard. And I don't even need to fix it to the point where it's a loss leader for them. I can fix it where they still generate a good amount of money, but everyone loves the game so much more. It would take me literally 6 hours with a developer, tops. Because I don't even need to change anything in the game. I just need to move some numbers around. It's so easy. I do wonder what the next big content drop's going to be, though. I know they talked about having clan bosses and stuff, but wonder what the next big content drop's going to be. You don't think silver's a problem? Night, Darky. How many are we up to? Oh, we're done. Boom. So I need to take 2 elites and 1 basic or expert tomorrow. We might as well buy this. Why not? That is key. Otherwise, I will not have enough clan quests to get this clan gold done, which is down here, which I will do in the week. So I've got to be mindful of that. I've got to make sure I plan ahead. That's why I haven't bought my upgraded Great Hall yet, because I'll have to spend some crests. I know I could easily win them back, but I'm just not going to risk it. There's no rush for me to do it. We're not pushing Hydra this week, so that's not a problem. So that's okay. I do, Benjamin, yeah. So 47 missions to go yet. Not far. Marius the pony will get there, but that's it's going to be a long grind. Now, I'll be honest, guys. I actually think free gear swapping is not good game design. Personally. Because it devalues the importance of gear. And this is coming from playing Dragonair. This isn't a personal experience. This is like experiences from playing Dragonair, where effectively you stop grinding gear because you don't need to. In Dragonair, I literally spend a week farming gear in the entire season. Now, is there a problem with gear swapping in this game? Yes. Because the economy is imbalanced. We haven't really decided in Fateless right now. Like, all of these things are... Like, everything I'm giving you as talks here are things that I believe. It's nothing to do with Fateless. Everything I tell you right now is nothing to do with Fateless. I'm not confirming that we're going to do anyway. There's lots of people involved in Fateless. I'm just a member of the team. I'm just saying, for me playing Dragonair as a personal experience, I don't value gear in Dragonair at all. Because effectively, I farm the gear dungeons once for about a week in terms of time, and then I just never need to again. And the reason why is because all you do is you go gear to swap to swap to swap. You keep swapping gear. You swap the same sets. Really, all I need is 1 good tank set, 1 good heal set, and 3 good DPS sets, and that's it. I never need anything else. And you're done. Now, it's okay for Dragonair because they reset your gear, right? At the end of the season, gear gets reset, so you have to go farm it. But imagine you didn't have that reset. It would be so easy to get the gear you want. Imagine I can just go into here, right? And say like I was doing a live arena session, I could just simply move all of this gear over, And you might think, well, that's really a chore. Imagine how quickly people will develop a tool that does it like that for you. RSL Helper sells your gear like that for you. It wouldn't take people too long. So you would end up just using one set of gear for all your champions. You would basically go, someone will build a program that goes, press button, equip for live arena. It will go through the game, boom, 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 done. You'd never farm gear anymore. Why would you do any gear? Fusions? You just sell everything. Just make silver back. What would you do? And this is a bit of a problem with free gear swapping. And the issues in Raid has nothing to do with the fact it costs silver to swap gear. The issues with Raid is it costs too much silver to swap gear. That's the issue. In the sense that it costs me more. It costs me 1 million silver just to swap 6 pieces or 9 pieces. That is the problem. It's the cost of it, not the actual system. And there's also no loadouts. There's also no like saved memory. There's no quality of life features. So it's not just, it's a cost to upgrade, it's a cost to swap, and it's a burden to manage. Those three alone is what makes the problem. Not like suddenly adding free gear swapping is not going to magically solve the problem. It's just not going to. We get free regear on weekends, which are great, but it still costs me silver to upgrade. It still costs me silver to cleanse. It still costs me silver to like manage it, and all of that is a problem as well. I actually make less silver by farming Dragon than I would, like, I'll run Dragon, 100 runs of Dragon, I'll sell like 80% of it. To partially roll what I get will cost me the same amount of silver as I generate from Dragon. That is the issue with Raid. The silver economy is imbalanced. You don't earn enough. It's got nothing to do with the system itself, you just don't earn enough. And I think, you know, if they just implemented some of the things I suggested, lifting the silver increase a little bit, reducing the gear swapping cost by 25%, removing the penalty for selling stuff from Dragon and Ice Golem so that those dungeons are more comparable to Fire Knight. These little things to give a little bit more, reduce a little bit of the cost, just to bring the thing back into a little bit of a stable balance, you will find people won't complain as much. Because it will be like fair. You still need to farm silver, you still need to farm gear, but the punishment will be less. Right now, if you want to do an artifact enhancement, on average, it's going to cost you 20 million silver just to upgrade gear for that one event. And they do one of those like once every 3 days. It's an unreasonable amount of silver to manage. And then because of that, you then have no silver to do gear swapping. So I don't think, no, because I think what you're doing, Matthew, is you're just moving the problem to a different position. So if people are saying we need free gear swapping because it's too expensive, the answer isn't to give them the choice of when they can have a free regear swap. The choice is to, the answer is to figure out why are people telling you the gear swapping is a problem. You know, that is what a good game designer would do. If I came to you and said, Hydra Clash is a terrible experience, it's taking me too much time, the answer isn't to give me Trunder to win Hydra Clash. The answer is, why is it taking so long for you to do Hydra? And it's because I have to do so much damage. So how do you fix that problem? Well, you could come in and you could say, okay, we could cap the amount of time. Maybe we come in here and we change the model where it doesn't encourage you to push damage as much. I would argue that Hydra Clash is actually a difficult problem to solve because of the way they've structured it. Because effectively what they've done is they've forced you to run the hour and a half. They forced you to run to turn limit. That's the problem, because it's all about damage leaderboards. If you rank something by damage, then you're going to force people to push damage, and there's no real way you can fix that unless you fundamentally change the way that the ranking works. Now, I will say a very quick fix they can do for Hydra Clash is to make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 get rewards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on average what I would say you should do. So everyone gets a win, whether you get a win or not, right? Whether you've pushed points or not, everyone gets something out of it. That's a good first step. That immediately makes it feel less bad because you can push super hard and then get done in by one team and then win absolutely nothing. A game mode where you get nothing out of your contribution is a bad game mode. Right? That's just fundamental like game design. It's like participate in this event and get nothing for it. Nobody would sign up for that. Now people would, like Dragon do a very good model here where basically you get a lot more for being in the top 10, but even if you just play the game a little bit, you're still going to be top 50 or top 75%. So you're still going to get something out of it. So you still feel like you get something for your time. This game mode, the basic fundamental problem is you could spend all of your time pushing your best keys and you still go away with nothing. And that is the worst problem. And it's not even about making money. I disagree. Because you can still make money and give people what they want. That's not really a problem. I think the monetization topics border into the realm of like hyperbole, where it's almost like, they just want money. I'm like, no, they can make money and still do a good game design problem, right? You can make a profitable product, really profitable, and still have a good game design. That's not really, it's not like one or the other. They don't have to make a bad game to make money. And likewise, they don't have to make a good game and not make money. You can make a good game and make money. It's not that hard. Well, no, as I said, Tip, the solution is, this is the 3 things they can do, and it would take them a couple of hours, okay? You go into Dragon, there's a feature on these sets, right? Accuracy, speed, lifesteal. Which sets are they in total? Let's see. Let's go to the map. So any of these sets you see here, critical rate, speed, accuracy, resistance, lifesteal, destroy, retaliation, fury, and this curing set, all of those sets carry a sale penalty. When the game was first launched, they were probably thinking, silver economy wise, we can't have people farming, say, curing sets and making tons and tons of money from the uncommon curing sets. Fine. Makes sense. But we've advanced beyond that now. A lot of people don't even run campaign to do champion training. And with all of the different features and factors in the game, I think it's fine now for us to make a change. Again, talking about how I was saying before, you've driven the car for 5 years. Some things always need servicing. The brakes need checking. The windscreen wipers need changing. The oil needs changing. Right now, it makes no sense for you to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets receive a harsh penalty because they were in the campaign. I don't even farm retaliation from campaign. I can't remember the last time. Take away the penalty. Because what you will find is Ice Golem and Dragon income will increase by 30 to 40%. So I'll earn much more silver. Essentially, I won't be negative silver coming out of the dungeon, which you are at the moment in Ice Golem specifically. So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is I would reward clan levels, and I would say, see this extra campaign silver? Remove the word campaign and make this 15%. So just give me 15% silver everywhere. It's not a problem. It's not like you earn tons of silver from finishing stuff. But every time I finish a dungeon right now, I'm earning some silver, right? Every time I finish Dragon, I earn some silver. So if I finish a Dragon run on stage 10 hard, for example, I'm just going to have a look now what the stages tool says. I earn 18,000 silver. Well, instead of 18,000 silver, why don't you let the clan earn 15% more, up that to 20,700? Typically, you need to do 136 Dragon 10 runs per Dragon tournament. So right now, that would mean if we just made that one change, we would get 2,700 times 136. That would give us 360,000 more silver per tournament run. It's not stupidly OP. It's not imbalancing the economy. It's uplifting and balancing it slowly bit by bit. That's the second thing I would do. The third thing I would do is I would immediately halve. I'd take, to start with, 25% from the swapping cost permanently. Permanently. So that the cost of swapping is permanently 25% cheaper. Because you don't really need to keep the costs as they are right now. So what I've done is I've basically made it more profitable for you to farm the gear dungeons. You still need to farm the dungeons, so you still need to earn that silver. I've given you more silver, 15% more from the actual silver rewards, and I've also taken 25% off the swap. I would leave it there for the first patch, and I would see how people feel about this swap. And if it's still too punishing, I would go in and I would start doing things like incrementing the sale cost of all artifacts by 10%. I would potentially target the silver upgrading cost. One thing they could do, which I think was a very good suggestion, is instead of having variable upgrade costs, make it fixed upgrade costs, right? So when I'm upgrading gear, for example, instead of making this a chance to roll, just make me pay like 50,000. 51, 52. Make it 250,000, take it from 12 to 16. Fixed costs. That's what Dragonade does. That's what a lot of other games do. It's very good. We don't need RNG here for the sake of RNG. RNG should be a fun mechanic. It shouldn't be a mechanic that's annoying. It should be a strategic, fun mechanic. So that's if it needed it, I would just go in and fix these upgrade costs. Then we would see where we are. And you would just iterate the numbers. You don't need whole system changes. You just need to modify the numbers. I don't understand why it's so difficult, you know? 0 Al Bundy. They might tweak some things. Like, to be fair to Plarium, like I do criticize a lot of things. They did listen about the regearing event. They've moved it because we were all like, look, we don't need the free regearing event on week 1. Like day 1, week 1 of rotation, it's too soon. I'm rushing to get to Soul Cross. It takes me 2 days to get there. So to be fair, they do listen to a lot of feedback. They do act on some feedback. But other things I think that can be very quick wins, they just sit there and they don't act on it. And I don't really know why. It doesn't really make sense to me. Because it's not like silver's a massive income for them. People are still going to farm the dungeons. I have a firm belief that if someone wants to spend money on the game, they will. You don't need to force people to buy things. You can market to them. You can adjust the FOMO and various different things. But ultimately, things like energy. If people enjoy the game, they want to farm the game, they will spend money on energy. You don't have to make this like arbitrary punishment and you have to pay to get out of the punishment. That's not a good thing. Eventually, that's going to bite you in the backside. I do need to do my brutal key, I think. I don't think I've done the brutal key. Let me check. I think I've done my nightmare key. 40 million. I think I did hard. I think I just threw in a quick 30 mil key. I'm pretty sure I have. I can just check here, can't I? This is the easiest way to check. Yeah, so I've done hard nightmare, so I just need a brutal. Okay, how much is brutal? 29.4 mil. Got it. What's the new brutal team? I think it's that one. That'll do. So, do you think that coding makes it easier? It makes it harder to change silver rates? No. No, because this is how easy it is, right? Where is that? I gotta find it. Hang on. Ba-ba-bum. Where is it? Find it in a minute. These variable sets are so huge. They take up so much of the thing. Let me set bonuses, secondary sets. Here you go, look. let me show you how difficult this is. Okay. This is how difficult it would be to change some numbers. I'm going to give you some advanced coding. This is very technical, what you're about to see. Right? Here you go, look. Are you ready for it? It's hard. Guys, it's really difficult. Look, I'll show you how difficult this is. You know, it's really advanced coding. Look how hard this is. I don't know how I don't know. It's just taken me, you know, this takes a master's degree in philosophy to figure out how to do this. Look at that. It's really difficult. It's literally taken me hours and hours of coding language and lessons to understand how to balance the silver economy. Obviously, this is just text. I'm not changing anything in the game. Just context. I haven't actually changed any code. Just saying, that's all you have to do. Look, here you go. It's too expensive to upgrade. Like, it's not hard. I don't understand why we, you know. Hey, look. All these upgrade prices, ascend prices. Okay, obviously, look. Upgrade chances. Look, maybe we need to improve the upgrade chance. Hey, look. These are all the prices selling. Maybe we need to make it so that sets can sell better. This is what I'm saying, look. These are all the campaign sets. They manually hard code the campaign sets down. Do you know how you solve this problem? One button press. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not difficult. I'm not asking you to systematically change the code. I'm asking you to modify a number to fix the silver economy. Do that, people will love the game. Like, literally with a few minutes of my life, I can make things so much balanced, and it still would be fine for players. It's like, I'm not advocating to the point where it's like they would lose money. I don't see any negatives here. If people can spend more money playing the game, they will want to whale more to play the game. If people feel like they're being barriers to entry so they can't even play the game, they'll quit. Like, that's not me making it, that's reality. They'll just quit. You're missing change control, business analytics, and feedback. You also have a project. Do you know what I forgot? Cool. I forgot analytics. Damn it. I forgot the analytics, didn't I? I forgot to include analytics. That's the problem. I didn't use the word analytics. God damn. The cost to move up a level is set value in a file, which is easily changed. If gear was cheaper to upgrade and remove, you could have more flexibility to test. Exactly! If you had more silver, you can play the game. It's almost like, sometimes I feel like, unless you have to be held hostage to play the game. I feel like that's a mentality that can sometimes come across. Well, if we don't do this, nobody wants to play the game. Like, if we don't set it up like this, then you know, it's not going to work. Nobody will play the game. And I will say, it's not really for me to tell them how to market their game, right? Because they do it better than anyone else. You know, I'm sure their analytics are true. I know I joke about it, but I'm sure their analytics are very accurate. Like the player behaviors, the systems clearly work. They make good money. They run the game. The game is still operable. So in that sense, like, it is a bit disingenuous for me, a random player, to just tell them what to do. But at the same time, I think it's a pretty universal acceptance that the main negatives of their feature game mode is that silver swapping, gearing, and all these issues are a major problem. And honestly, I think they just don't want to deal with it. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But it doesn't take more than a single developer to fix it overnight. And I can't see how having a negative experience with your new major content that would have taken several hours, months of development time. You know, City of Sintranos would have taken them a considerable amount of dev investment. For people to walk away with that with, I don't even want to play this game mode, surely that's worse than just fixing the silver economy. That's what I can't get my head around. Surely that response is a bigger problem. So... But you can still have that grind philosophy, Elixium. Right? I mean, I don't think that goes away. Like, I don't advocate for a complete removal of the gear swapping cost, for example. I think it's a bad idea, personally. I think it will lead to people not running dungeons anymore. But at the same time, you don't want to have a gearing system that is so unfriendly to play with that one minor change can literally ruin your experimentation. The best thing about Dragonair is that I can try this gear set. If that gear set doesn't work, I can try another gear set. I can keep modifying my builds, and I can have a lot of fun basically trying to figure out the best build. Where within Raid, it's almost like you need to know exactly what you're going to do before you do it. Because otherwise, you're not going to have enough silver to even like test the build, because you're going to have to spend about 2 million upgrading it. So whether it's something to do with swap costing, whether it's something to do with the upgrade cost, whether it's something to do with, you know, more silver in the economy, right now there is almost like a depression of silver, where you lose more silver than you make constantly, which means that you can never really experiment. You can't really have fun with the game because it's always constantly an accounting job of, I need to go and farm this silver so that I can go and play the game. So, I mean, I agree, Envy. I mean, I'm not saying that silver is the #1 problem in the game. We were talking specifically about the Cursed City of Sintranos, right? We were talking about what are my thoughts on the Cursed City of Sintranos, and I think for that particular content area, Envy, the biggest problem is silver, right? For the Cursed City of Sintranos, the most off-putting issue about it is the silver issue. I agree across the board, game balance is the ultimate problem in the game. We need a stat squish, we need a rebalance around game mechanics, and we also need a rebalance around just things like max HP, you know. But at this point, it's too late in the game. The problem with game balance is if you allow game balance to control you, it's very difficult to then bring balance back into the game, which is what they have done. They've allowed the game to be balanced around the game, and they've lost control of it. So the only real answer, like, for example, the statement of, we can't nerf Trunder because we don't want to upset people. Okay. So the only solution to Trunder, because think about this as an economic thing. If you sold someone a Ferrari and then you needed to generate more income, right? You're a business. You need to keep selling cars. Well, if you sell someone the best car, then how do you get that person to come back and buy more? Well, you can't give them another Ferrari. Well, they've already got one of those. You can't take that Ferrari away from them because you've sold them that Ferrari. So how do you actually sustain your business? Right? How do you do anything? Well, the only answer is to make the faster Ferrari and sell that Ferrari. But here's where game balance is a problem, The moment you start giving everyone a Ferrari, now you need to give everyone a Ferrari 2.0. So the rate in which you accelerate the need for someone else to come in and buy that second Ferrari goes up from an average pace to now we need to give it to everyone tomorrow, which is what happened. It started with Acrizia. Acrizia was the ultimate mistake from a game balance point of view because it made her the best boss killer in the game. And then everything after Acrizia has been power creep on an accelerated level. Taras came in, the strongest champion in Arena for ages. Then you started adding things like Newt. Now you basically can't design bosses. Because every single boss you release has to have so many passives and conditions to stop OP mechanics from one-shotting it. You actually can't design bosses anymore. So you make those bosses incredibly difficult, and you make those bosses niche to the extent that one champion is the only thing that can do it with, and that frustrates the player base. So this is enough for Brutal, right? $30.7. I think that's enough. Yeah, she's a burner. And she's also ally protection, Nathan. So she sets up the burn for Blade Master. But she's also ally protection as well, so... You know. We're tanking this week, that's why I'm not looking to do that much damage. I'm trying to keep our scores low so we get back into a better healthy matchmaking. But it's nice to get Hydra out of the way. Because obviously I don't need to do the Hydra key until after reset. Because it's going to be like way after this. So there's no rush. I personally think max HP just shouldn't be a mechanic in any game. I've seen some teams, some games, like Dragon did it recently with Aura. I think there was another game that did it where max HP is allowed, but they cap it based on the hero's attack. And I'm like, you might as well just give the hero an attack modifier or a defense modifier, right? It doesn't really matter. The moment you allow max HP, you enter this world of either it's the best thing in the game and nothing else can compare, or it's not anywhere near the strength of a normal one, so you might as well just give it the normal one, or it's really weak. You can't really find a way with it, and you always have like this devil on your shoulder with max HP, that the moment you start scaling bosses, that max HP just becomes out of control. You're constantly having to fight the balance. It becomes a bit of a developer's nightmare, in my opinion, because you're constantly fighting balance with it. Every single time you add a new boss, you're going, does this one champion break it? And that is always going to be an issue when you add max HP, and I don't think you need it. I think there are plenty of other ways you can do max HP, like poison, like HP burn. There's other ways you can deliver a max HP experience without necessarily going, hey, this champion just does 20% max HP and is now the strongest damage dealer for a boss. So yeah, you are right, Envy. Like, the power creep in the champion itself is very strong. So yeah, that is an issue as well. You don't think turn meter should deplete? I think turn meter depletion is important. Whether you should have 100% turn meter deplete is fine. Like, for example, how would I balance Armand's? Because it's a very good, interesting concept, right? How would I balance Armand's right now? Where is he? He's a barbarian. So whenever you're doing hero design, you know, champion design, you're always looking at what role do they want to play, what archetype are they, what position in the team should they be occupying. And clearly Armand's is designed to be a turn meter control skill manipulator. So how would I do this? This is a powerful ability. On its own, it's okay. But I wouldn't make it a 3-turn cooldown. This should be like Kaimar's A3. It should be a 6-turn cooldown like this. This is a 6-turn cooldown. It's fine because it becomes a 4-turn cooldown. It gives you a chance to take a turn. I would also reduce this to 5%. I reduce this to what's this? Each buff removed. That one's probably okay. I would make it so you can block the sheep debuff. I mean, sheep debuff on its own is a problem. On its own. I think polymorph is just a mechanic that needs balancing overall, but you know, that's okay as a concept. I will say it should be 1%, not 5%, because you're removing buffs from all enemies. So it should be 1%, not 5%. I would also make it so that this didn't have a way to fill turn meter when they came out. And I would also make it so this is only 2. So when they come out of sheep, there's one ability has a random 2-turn increase, just like this. But instead of it being 35%, it's 100%. Slow the abilities down, reduce the rotational aspect of his abilities, and he's a much more balanced champion. He's still strong, but he's no longer the best because he's still got affinity issues with his A2. Harima can counter him very well, but it just makes him a little bit less consistent. The problem is right now he steals this on a 3-turn cooldown, which effectively makes this a 2-turn cooldown, because by stealing 4 turn meters, you're essentially getting 400% turn meter back. So this is almost a guaranteed extra turn. So it's a 3-turn, guaranteed means it's a 2-turn with a 1-turn stun. So by the time the enemies come out of the stun and take another turn, he's already got this back. And that's the issue. You get this back too quickly. Make this a 6-turn cooldown that comes down to 5. Leave the stun in place, leave the steal turn meter. That's fine. Because likely, an enemy that's going at 400 speed will be able to cut in and get a turn. So if you can't kill them in the time that stun comes in, that's your punishment. That's the kiss curse mechanic, right? That's the mechanic of he's still good. If he goes first, he stuns. But what he can't do is immediately and infinitely control the battlefield, because that is just imbalanced. You know, he can basically make sure that nobody ever takes a turn or use an ability in one kit. It's too strong. Exactly, Willis. Yeah, anything that steals this much turn meter is effectively 100% extra turn. So it means it becomes a 2-turn cooldown. Right? Well, that is the problem. Imagine I told you, here's an ability that steals all of the enemy's turn meters and gives you a 1-turn stun on a 2-turn cooldown. You would absolutely think they're nuts. It's crazy. But that's effectively what they've done. So the issue you raised there, Trigger, is quality of content. How can you effectively design any new content that doesn't immediately put restrictions? Because if I ever need to clear waves, our mans will just permanently control the wave. I want the nerf across the board, because what you've actually done is you've minimized the ability to create any compelling content. Because effectively, our mans can just solo everything. And you've got this one champion now that you have to sit there constantly and going, oh, what about stealing turn meter? Maybe I need to make all this content immune to turn meter. And by fixing the one champion, you've basically made any turn meter champion useless. You know, and that is some of the issues as well. Like, if you have to deal with an exception to the rule, and the only way to deal with that exception is to stop that exception from working, you're going to then deny all the champions, which is a bit what Polymorph does. Right? Debuffs were a problem in Arena, so they kind of stopped you from being able to place decreased defense and stuff by putting Polymorph. But by doing that, you've completely eradicated any debuff, so any champion that does a debuff is now useless. Instead of just trying to find ways to do mechanics with Polymorph where there was a penalty for placing a debuff, but not necessarily such a harsh one, you know, that could be a better way of doing it. Like, for example, having a blessing which makes you immune to debuffs. So if I absolutely need a champion to take a turn, then I can put them in that blessing. Having a blessing that can place protected debuffs is a good idea. Having a blessing that every single time I take a turn, I have a 30% chance of removing debuffs. These are the types of balancing you do around debuffs. If you're worried about an enemy controlling your waves too much, then you would have mechanisms to mitigate them, not eradicate them. And I feel like Plarium have this problem with their game balance where either nothing gets done or it goes way too extreme. You know, so Corpulent Cadaver. My argument for the fix for Corpulent Cadaver was to essentially do this type of cap, but not at the extreme that they did it. They just over-capped it. You know, this probably should have been 500,000. It's just one way or the other. There's no, like, real balance to it. It's either it's insanely OP or it's insanely not OP. So, you know. Yeah, it's the Corpulent Cadaver problem. You know, maybe you have a blessing, for example, that goes, if Polymorph is placed on someone in the team, instantly polymorphs that enemy back. for example. Or maybe you have something where it goes, if someone gets polymorphed, this polymorph comes onto you. One thing I think the easiest fix for polymorph, by the way, is 1 polymorph per team. Like Brimstone. You can only have 1 enemy or ally and a polymorph. And I also think they should make the polymorph blessing only 1 per team. It's a good concept, it's just too strong. Yeah, you can see the Shamael build here. Shamael is in Merciless Cruel because I actually use him for his A1 damage. I know his A3 ignores fully defense, but I actually use him for his A1 damage. His A1 can do quite a lot of damage in the right setup. He's in Phantom Touch at the moment. Eventually, I'll take him out of Phantom Touch and put him into something else. So, no. So make it so that this blessing for polymorph only works once in a team, so that you can't have multiple polymorphs, because that's the problem. The change that they did for polymorph is good. This can only roll once. So if I throw 10 debuffs on you, I still only have 1 chance. The problem is when you have 4 enemies, all with 20% chance, well, then you basically get a pretty much guaranteed chance it's going to happen. It's like 55 or 60% chance. It's the stacking of polymorph that makes it now powerful. The change that they made was the right step. They just should have not made it stackable. And when they moved the stats, they basically incentivized having polymorph on all your damage dealers. I hoped that they wouldn't incentivize it in the way that but they did, you know? Yeah, I mean, Supersonic is a great set for Go Second. I actually think Supersonic is a really good answer to the speed meta, right? A lot of the Stone Skin issues, protection issues, and polymorph issues are around trying to combat the speed meta. I actually think that this Supersonic set is a very good solution for the speed meta. You can still go fast. If you manage to win, great, you incentivize that. But if you don't go first, you have a catch-up mechanism. This fill turn meter is a catch-up mechanism, right? It's a way to make the speed meta more complicated, more challenging. Don't just arbitrarily make it so I can't do anything for 2 turns. That's not good answers, so. Yeah, exactly. Similar to Brimstone, right? You can't have more than 1 Brimstone in the team. So, find someone with Brimstone here, eventually. Someone down here with Brimstone. There you go, Brimstone. Right? Only 1 Smite debuff can be active per team. Only 1 Polymorph can be active per team. Simple. I cannot tell you. I guarantee if Drock was here right now and I said to him, look, I can't get rid of Polymorph, but I can make it so only 1 person can ever be Polymorphed in the team. He would be like, yes. Where do I sign? Where do we sign up for this? Like, instantly. That's what you would be like. Because it's like, yeah, great. That's you know, we can see where we're at, but let's just do that. Super easy. Did he say it in his stream, did he? What would you put instead of PT? Shamael is actually quite flexible. You can have a lot of different options with Shamael. So I've gone PT because I just want damage, but you can absolutely go Cruelty because he's going to stack it up every single time you counterattack. So, you know, if you've got a high Awakening up to like 5 or 3 star, Cruelty is also very good. 6 star, you can choose to go Crushing Rend for his A1 to really get as much ignore defense as you can on the A1. That's not bad either. Survival Instinct at 6 star, by the way, very, very good. Essentially, Survival Instinct, when you get something like a Gurptuck, is a permanent 30% turn meter fill every single time Gurptuck takes a turn. It's kind of OP. But those are the options. If not Phantom Touch, Cruelty. If not Cruelty, at 6 star, Crushing Rend. Otherwise, I think you go towards Heaven Cast. But normally, Phantom Touch always beats Heaven Cast in an attack buff, in an attack champion. Any attack champion, Heaven Cast will probably lose to Phantom Touch damage. So, no, I don't even think you have the 6 star exception, Preston. I think 1 champion in the team can activate Polymorph and only that. It's the only way to do it. It's too strong. No, Phantom Touch just is going to lose to Heaven Cast every single time. Masteries, yeah. Is my head in the way? Hang on. Helm Smash is what he's got, but my head's in the way. I can move my head out of the way. Well, that's not the head. There we go. See? Move my head out of the way. The reason why I've got him in Helm Smash is because I use him for his A1 damage, yeah? His A1 damage is what I'm really focusing on. So when I'm fighting the Head of Suffering, I can get up to like 40 plus 25%, so 65%, plus my area bonus is 85% ignore defense. So this really, really stacks up damage. Yes, this is good, strong damage. It is, but it's like Whisper. A3 and A1 on Whisper is very strong. Don't ignore it just for the A2. Let me move my head back now. Whoop. What's the best blessing for Artak? Honestly, he's a bit awkward. My Artak is currently at 5-star. I have him in Soul Reap because if I can execute the boss at the right time, it will save me a bit of time on Ice Golem. Honestly, at 6-star, I'd love to move him over to Ward of the Fallen because it would make him so much stronger in Ice Golem. It would mean that I don't really have any risk of getting one shot from the passive. I don't think you need it. You can go Brimstone, but because he's AoE, it's very difficult to make sure it works, especially in Ice Golem where the minions don't actually cast an ability. It's a bit of a technical oversight by them. They allow Brimstone to be placed on the minions, but Brimstone itself doesn't do anything. It only activates on an active ability. They have no active abilities. So Brimstone can't be cast. So that's a bit awkward. You could go Cruelty if you wanted to. You know, stack up some ignore defense, but he himself is not doing damage directly from on hit, so it's a bit low value. So I just stuck with Soul Reap and just RNG the execution. I think it's just better. It did, Dutchy. It did. It did. I do think, though, Dutchy, it's much more for a 6-star. Right? When you can get the Rend comboed with the ignore defense, comboed with Helm Smash. When you combo all three together is when it gets really good. If you're not 6-star, then the Relentless Phantom Touch build is not that far away. When would you prefer Heaven Cast versus Crushing Rend, or will Crushing Rend always prevail? Crushing Rend only in PvE, JFA. If you want to use it in PvP, Crushing Rend is not very good. That's when I might consider something like Heaven Cast if there was no better alternative. But then at 6-star, you just go Polymorph. It's very difficult to overlook Crushing Rend and Polymorph at 6-star for their respective roles. Just because Polymorph gives you the best advantage of winning. Because it gives you control over the fight. And if you have control over the fight, you win in arena. That's just the way that it works. So, emergency heal's not bad. Yeah, that's a fair shout. If you put him in a blood shield ring, if you have a blood shield accessory, then yes, you could go an emergency heal. It's not a bad heal. Yeah, it's not bad. It feels a little bit less exciting though, right, Lucer? But yeah, that's a fairly good shout there. But it has to have a Brimstone, right? You need a Brimstone, otherwise you don't get a shield. So you have to generate a shield, otherwise it's not going to work. So, what's your time, John? What is your time? Yeah, I was stubborn about the 6-star. Dutchy was right about that one. But I think what we've settled on is if you're below 6-star, the Relentless Whisper build is pretty good. But then you would go Relentless Phantom Touch. If you're at 6-star, you go Crushing Rend. And then the moment you go Crushing Rend, you invest in Lethal or Merciless or that Ignore Defense build, and you go Helm Smasher. It's not worth going Helm Smasher until you can really get the high levels of Ignore Defense. So until you're at 6-star, you can't activate all of that. Because the way the Ignore Defense bonus works is just the more of it you have together, the better it becomes. So when you can add in Rend, Helm Smasher, area bonuses, artifact sets, and really get up to that cap and pinnacle, that's when it becomes incredibly strong. I don't think I can do that right now. I think my record so far is like 24 with this team. I might be able to do it once I get Pony. The biggest problem with this team is if Riho 3%, honestly. But It's not going to quite do it, but... See, it's just 26 seconds. It's close. That's my record at the moment. It's pretty powerful, but I haven't quite got it any slower faster than that. Hey, I know when I'm wrong. I can say it. It just, like, the thing about me is I will be open to admit that I'm wrong. It just might take me a while to get there. That's the difference with me. I'll never sit here and defend that I'm right constantly, even when I've been proven wrong. It's just sometimes I can be a bit stubborn. It'll take me a while to get there. Sometimes, though, I am right and people just don't believe me. That happens also. Yeah, the 3% is a problem. If I don't land the decreased defense or weaken from Riho, then this team just fails because I don't get the setup. As long as it's decreased defense and weaken, I always land. This always works. But if I don't get them, I don't get the extra turn into the A2, and then I don't outrun the block passive skills, and it just becomes a bit of a frustration. Because this team is finally sped-tuned to the point where, you know, things have to work in very specific orders. But since I got my second Whisper at 6-star, this is much more consistent now. This happens at a very consistent rate, where before it could sometimes go to 50 seconds. P7. P7. This one. This one is a case of less is more and slow and steady. Actually, you want to have less champions here. Just because the more champions you add, the more you have to kill. Whereas I used Venomage mostly and just tried to turn me to control it with Armands and just slow it down. Panda would be quite good here, but the problem is any of these tanky champions, I really need to build up my Samson because he's appearing a lot in this rotation. Any of these tanky champions, they're going to be hard to kill. So try not to have people like Snick Track, you know, Isuga, Pythian, Uko. They're too tanky. Just bring someone that's squishy enough, like you can, the boss not super fast, you can probably turn me to control it with your Armandas, you know? So, would Draco be faster versus Riho for defense weaken? Potentially animation-wise, Vizix, yeah. I don't actually have Draco, believe it or not. So, it can be done without him, though. It's not a problem. It's just you have to have the right champions, you know? I think he's still got gear, for example. Like, you probably have to have someone that can one-shot because of this. This is what I mean about having more. Because it's going to take me a while to kill them. See, it just takes a bit too long to kill them because I got too many allies up. But normally I'd have like a better damage dealer, right? So I don't have many people that built in damage. Someone like a Barsatha to just basically kill them, or Samson. You don't need too much damage. You just need more than what you've got. I mean, I may even be able to 3-man it. Once you kill the allies, you can 2-man it with what you've got. But I don't think this dude here is built in any damage anymore. So we got rid of one. It's the Necmo that's a problem because he slows us down, so. Once the Necmo is killed. See what I mean? So it's just trying to kill the clones. And because obviously Necmo's built for Hydra, he's tankier than most, which doesn't help. And he's also negative affinity, so killing him is really hard. But without Necmo, probably I don't do it, so. So the actual issue isn't turn meter, it's who do you have to kill your clones? Because all of these are super tanky, and you can't bring anyone who's tanky, right? I can probably bring something like this. Boost. Like, I would basically build Marauder here, whatever his name is, much stronger than he actually is currently. But you see the problem, right? I'm just not getting any damage out. So... But that's mainly because I have no, like, geared champions. Like, if I actually check Marauder's build, he's probably not in any damage sets, right? This guy is not in any damage sets. If I actually had him built faster, I could one-shot the Necmo, right? So if I put some damage gear on him and put him into lethal or something. Don't even know if I have any lethal gear left to use. Hey, look. Pieces just languishing here. Gotta be careful about the set because you're making him tanky. You don't really want to do that. I'm not gonna give him that piece. It's too good. Oops, that. Now I'm trying to show you can do it without Armands. I'm trying to deliberately not do it with that. I could easily do it with Armands. That's not really a problem. And then I think I just need speed. Something like that'll do. Oh damn, I've got the wrong. And then we can bring Baroth the Blood-Soaked. And let's just try to get him out. Okay, see, all we got to do is we've got to RNG it so we don't get double weak hit. I have been playing for 4.5 years, Elfish, so you can't really use me as a benchmark. Nice. Now we can basically pick on him. See, once we get some of this controlled... Nice. So we trust them to steal Necmo. That would always happen. That's probably... This is like when you'd restart because you just don't want to... You just don't want it to steal Necmo. I don't know the exact mechanics of who it steals, but you just don't want it to steal Necmo. And if you do, you need to have your A3 available. Once we get past the first clone, the rest of this becomes super easy. We just got to get past the first clone. Like here, for example, because we're weak hitting. We're just not getting enough damage out. So close. I'm going to take too much damage here now, probably. Yeah, see. He definitely picks the Necmo, which is really frustrating. And then we lose that. Do you know, I'm stubborn now. I kind of want to do this now. I know how to do it. You just gotta get rid of this Necmothar as quickly as you can. Probably, like, let's get rid of him first. Because he's giving increased speed, right? Again, the other problem is if you don't get rid of... I probably actually need to... I'm just curious if I can do it without Armands. Is that enough poisons to kill the Venom Mage? What am I getting heal reduction from? Am I getting heal reduction from the Sentinel? Oh, I am, look, see? Getting this from the Sentinel. I probably just got too much heal reduction. Because the heal reduction is what's killing me right now. Because I can't heal, right? That's good. We want him taken. Now we would basically get rid of this. See, I'm not healing. Because, I mean, let's just try running it without that. I probably need to kill. Yeah, I think so, Green Virus. It's just too much heal reduction problems. It really doesn't help that there's just not many good damage dealers, right? Bring Lariaka. Problem solved. Problem solved. Bring Lariaka. Now we just need to kill Lariaka. Don't think that's enough. Find out. The reason why it's important is because regen sets. And now I probably need to drop the Baroth because he's doing too much damage, or I need to kill him very quickly. Wait, why am I not winning that turn meter race? Did I move positions? No, I've got Speed Aura. Why am I not winning the Speed Aura race? Oh, I must have a mastery in him or something. Let's try and kill Barrett the Blood-Soaked. How? Nah. Okay, that's not the answer. I'm trying to avoid a tanky champion. That's the main issue. All of these are tank champions, which you just don't want to have. It's what makes this what makes this hard is just not a very good AoE damage dealer, apart from Samson the Masher. You know, and I don't want to bring anyone else who is super tanky because of that reality. But if I don't bring someone to stop the heal reduction, like, how do you kill the boss, you know? You might be able to do it without Venom Mage and just bring Aox, maybe, and just kill it with Barrett the Blood-Soaked. Is that enough damage? Let's find out. First point of call. Kill off the enemy Barrett the Blood-Soaked. It's not going well. See, it's just without good damage, it's really hard to kill the clones. I know it can be done. The way you would do it is nerf your champions. That's the problem. I've got my champions are just too tanky. All of them are all too tanky. That's the issue with this, right? So you'd have to make your champions deliberately weak. And when you do that, it becomes a lot easier. So like, for example, I can use... I'm trying to think who is weak here. Because most of them are built too strong, right? You know, Hakon, for example. He's got like 4k defense. Uko is built really tanky. Pythian, 100,000 health. You know, even Nekmothar right now, he's as glass cannon as I can have him, but it's the heal reduction that's a problem. Or you make him hit really hard by basically putting him in lethal, you know? Right, we can probably run Sentinel with Jamasa as bait. Because we can outrun a 2-turn. Not a 3-turn, see? It's the heal reduction that kills you here. Okay. Get rid of the heal reduction. That was meant to cleanse. I didn't think I thought it cleansed. Maybe it's not possible without Armand's. Because this is just like ridiculous. Because the problem is even Venomage is tanky. You know, she's tanky in regen, so it takes me a while to kill them. I mean, I could absolutely use Basatha, right? Basatha would be an answer, because what I can do with Basatha is I can make him so that he's not super tanky, but that he has some boots. Is he attack based? I think he's HP based, right? So I can just basically put him in some boots. Something like that. Like that. Not those, because they're really good. It's probably very good as well. Give him that. Give him that. Give him that, right? Just put him in speed. What we can do with Hoscarol, what we can do with Basatha, if I get a turn, is this. Except I think he hasn't got enough accuracy. How much accuracy did I give him? $146. He would need to be ascended. He'll be ascended tomorrow. He's also not booked, so it's not a 100% chance, because he loves a book. It should be okay then. Now we basically do, because this is strengthen, continuous heals, shield. Stun them all. Obviously we can't stun her, but it's fine. Does this cleanse? No. Okay, shield, strengthen. Granted, we now have to kill shield strengthen on the other enemy. I mean, this is a problem. Everything you would use, like you would probably make him full damage. and just make him one-shot everyone. Everyone you use always has some sort of healing. And it is so stupid that they design these waves like this. They're basically saying if you didn't do the Armand's fusion, you are screwed. Or you have to build one of these 2 legendaries. The reason why I was saying Basatha is because at least he's a free legendary from Doom Tower. You might be able to build like a Nuke Scathix with this A2. But trying to kill tanky opponents is the biggest problem here. They're all HP and support champions. So they're all built to survive. And you just can't, you just can't kill them. It's too difficult. You need like really good damage dealers. And he's not cutting it. So you'd have this. Something like that. And then you have to kind of like kill this. So he's done his job, but we've already lost one person. And then we get heal reduction, and now this is going to be out of control because we can't heal. So yeah, maybe I can't be done with it. Maybe I thought it could. I mean, there was probably teams that have done it without him, but I would imagine most have done it with him. Because obviously the moment I do this, everything becomes infinitely easier. Just do this. It's so much easier when you do this. It's actually disgusting how much easier it is. I know, by the way, it's doable if I just built my Basatha and I built Samson the Masher. If I built them to do damage, this would be easy without Armand's. But neither of them right now are built without damage. I don't have them built, so I can't really show it. But if I had like proper builds on Basatha with masteries, I had proper builds on like Samson, then it could work. He really needs to... Oh, man. Even this is not working now. It just takes too long to clear the clones. Oh, wow, I polymorphed myself. Brilliant. There we go. Put him as a sheep. Now it's fine. Once you get past this first setup, see, where he puts fear out on everyone, you're fine. But up until that point, it's a bit of a problem. I mean, I say I'm fine. I've still got to get rid of Baroth the Blood-Soaked. Just take out half his health. That's a bit of a waste. I should have held that. Put him back into polymorph. But yeah, I mean, this with Armand's is so much easier. I'm just going to get my champion back here because it's taking too long. Can you give my Baroth? Give my Baroth back, thank you. You, stop with your speed buff. Yeah, so once you get our mans in this position, now you're good. Because now the clones are gone, half the issues are going to go with it. But it's the lack of clone clearing that really makes this boss hard. Because I can pretty much auto this at this point. And it'll be fine. Well, it would, except for some reason we allowed him to be stolen, which is great. Brilliant. Really brilliant. Really brilliant. Am I going to get soloed by my own clone? See you later, Dutchy. I think I might, you know. I think I'm going to get soloed by my own clone. If this isn't an advert for how OP he is, I don't know what is. I'm going to get soloed by my clone. Someone take a clip of this. We'll send this to Prism QA to explain why this isn't balanced. Hands-free gaming. Yes, but our man's is balanced. Basically, I beat it. I don't know how I beat it. I'm not even in my list. Where am I? It's saying I haven't beaten it because I'm not in the top 10. But I beat it. Took me a while, but I beat it. The only good news is, at least you can... This isn't blocking anything. You can go around it. Right? You can dodge it. That's the only good thing about it. It's not completely blocking you. Whereas stuff like this... This is a full blocker. Like, imagine trying to do this without these legendaries. Like, it's so hard. Or this. You know? I mean, Daihi and Zargala is really big, but if you don't have Daihi, this is really hard. So these two stages blocking the entirety of this upper region is stupid. In my opinion. P11. Which is P11? This one. That's probably going to be Urost, mostly. If I remember correctly, Urost. Urost and Asuga kind of carry this. Yeah, Daithi and Hoskerl are one of those champions that I think both, like, if you had two of them, it's not a terrible idea. You know? It's not a terrible idea to have two of them built. Yeah, so I think I just did this with the Urost tank team. I'm just too tanky for them. They can't really beat me. But for me, most of the time, Plague Home is not a problem. I can beat Plague Home with one champion half the time. You know, so... but that's my level of account, right? I am struggling. My struggles are Soul Cross. They are not anywhere else. We're actually optimizing damage completely, Stu. We're testing at the moment, or at least Wolfie's doing the work to test his passive. Once I have that, I'll have more information. But we're trying to make it support as best we can. Yeah, Hoskerl's really good because he's the best epic stun champion in the game. So if you have two of them, for those stages where you need a lot of CC, double Hoskerl is very strong. It's very, very good. You should build Urost anyway, because Urost is the best Scarab King. That's all I did see. Same, very similar time, let it run auto. Like, Urost, if Urost was ever compatible with this stage, he's the best Scarab King. Because he just is undefeatable. I used Richtoff the Bold for this. It's very, very exciting. Very exciting. It was very thrilling gameplay, this. I think I broke him, actually. He had regen gear on. I think I broke him. I think I threw some regen gear on him just to test him. Yeah. I must have moved it when I was rebuilding someone else proper. Yeah, I took 2 pieces off to put final builds on people in regen. So, but the way you beat Scarab is find the poison and just put him in regen resist. That's the way you beat Scarab King. It might take you 5 to 10 minutes, but it's the easiest way. Am I still 4th, or has someone overtaken me? Oh, I'm down in 6th. Oh, damn. Oh, well. I guess we best try to beat this then. What was it? Romant 2. Whisper, Whisper. Romant 2. That. Whisper, Whisper, Creeler. I think I can get 8 turns in the right setup. Eesh. How much do you spend regearing Recursi? Well, from this rotation onwards, I'm trying to basically give champions and leave them be. So I won't spend too much this rotation, hopefully. But we'll see. This one won't be it because we've got a lot of extra turns. We'll kill it, but we've got too many extra turns. Oh, we won't kill it. Well, that was really unlucky. Yeah, anyone with a poison can basically solo Scarab King. You just put him in regen, high resist, and you just let them heal. If they have a bolster with it, great. Nice. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Boof. It's all about the Fushan. If he gets lots of them. If I can get like 4 of them, I can do this in 8 turns. I don't need the ally attack. Thoughts on the changes? I think it's disastrous. Lazy implementation. That's what I think it is. Yeah, the one but last video. This might be still okay. It's all about the Fushan, this. If I can get the Fushan to take the turns I need. Oh, man. Whisper's just going ham. Right, it's not going to work because he's not extra turned. That's true, Scrublord. Arost is one of the few champions that actually is very useful in Doom Tower. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Bum. A1. Oh, we only got 1. See, we need like 4 of them. And if we can get 4 of them, we can kill it in the Whisper rotation. Oh, look how close we get, see? That would require work still. Technically, they did. There is never going to be the same rotation ever again in Sintranos. Technically. It's not going to be that we're not going to be fighting anything new, but it will be new for that rotation because there are no rotations now. It's randomly picking those stages. Oh, damn. I want 8 turns. I want my 4th place back. Boof. There. Yeah, so every single time there's a new rotation, it'll go to like S1 and it'll pick something 1 to 5. S2 will pick a different 1 to 5. S3 will pick a 1 to 5. S4 will pick a 1 to 5. And it'll randomly pick them every single time. So essentially every single rotation will be unique. It just means, I mean, to some extent, it's a good model. The problem is that's not going to help us with the whole silver swapping and gear swapping because of the way that it thematically structures it. It will balance it out so more factions are equally distributed per rotation. But what it will do is it will require you to sustain and have more champions built. And without some sort of balance to the silver economy, I think that's an unfair request. Or at least, for me, it doesn't fix the core underlying problems of Centranos. And it's going to like be a 1 in a million chance of this. Like, I have to basically get Fushan to A1 like 4 times, maybe 5 times, to be able to get the Whisper to take a turn and kill it in Whisper's turn. It's very difficult. Like, you basically need to go boom, boom, boom. A1 4 hits with Crushing Rend and Helm Smasher to get it done. Saying there's a chance, I doubt it. Pretty much. Yeah, it's very complex. Advanced coding, that's what you need for that. He's forgotten how to multi-hit. It's really annoying. Need more Whispers. Well, no, because I need to take less turns. I just need the Fushan to roll a couple of A1s. He currently doesn't want to roll a couple of A1s, which is most unfortunate. See, he can hit 400,000. He's not. Yeah. I'm not too worried, you know. I'm happy with my 9 turn. But I know it can be done in 8 turns, you know. Just needs a bit of RNG. Padraig definitely. Romantu definitely. Padraig benefits incredibly from books. So yeah, so I mean you can do that. I'll do it eventually. Right. Let's buy some gem refills. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, guys. I'm going to leave there. I've got a lot of things to catch up on. And CvC is tomorrow, so I need to be up for that. So, thanks for watching. Bit of a random one today. Just prepping for lots of different things. Thursday, start of a new week. Maybe we'll do some Hydra. We'll see what happens. We'll see what news is arriving Thursday. Hopefully, we can do some Hydra testing because I can finally book Garrel this week. I've been waiting to book Garrel. I've got still a bit of Zenogre to book. I've got some 12 of the books, so I can book some champions. Padraig needs one more book as well, so a lot of my Hydra teams we can push a little bit forward. And yeah, we'll go from there. So, who would I book priority? Harima, then Wallmaster, then Zenogre. Zenogre for a very long time I didn't even have booked in my Fire Knight team. So I don't think you need to rush to book Zenogre, whereas Harima and Wallmaster absolutely would benefit from books first. So yeah. Getting George booked. Who's George? Oh, Jorgid. Yeah, I can't wait for CvCs, like getting things booked. Even like ascending Gwendolyn and Barsatha and Harima and ascending them up, because I don't ascend outside of CvC because that's really valuable points. So, yeah. Keep in mind tomorrow, by the way, guys, there is an Ice Golem tournament that will include some of the dual Prism things. So if you want to get another roll at it, I think there'll be 50 in that. It might be less. If it's less, that'd be very disappointing. No, I didn't get Harima. Don't be silly. Georgie to George. Also, Tag Team Arena overlaps with CvC, guys. So, easy way to get some essence. Don't ignore that. Grab some essence tomorrow. It's really good. As you can see, I've not been bothering with the web points. I don't even care about this. Honestly, I have so little interest in it. I know there's some good rewards up here. I just cannot be bothered. So I've done it. I'll pick up some points where it's worth it, like I did the arena tournament. I'll do the Ice Golem tournament, you know. I'll do easy things. If I need to do a bit of enhancement, I'll pick up some. I just have no interest in rushing for this. It's been my third 4-star Mikage, so I can skip it. So it's really easy. So, but yeah. But yeah, so thanks very much, guys, and I will catch you all on Thursday.